Mic audio. Let's turn that down a little bit so I'm really loud. Hello, people. As you can see, this is slightly different tonight. Welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. Unfortunately, we are not going to be playing our Fables Among Titans campaign this evening because two of the players, for personal reasons, cannot attend the session. So instead of playing with two players down, we're going to just delay it and carry on next Tuesday. So, because I'd already accosted these three lovely people for their evening, what we are going to do is a hangout with Heavy. It's a prototype show, so bear with us. I'm going to be doing some map making and stuff for the world of Colossus. You can see some of it. I didn't really have a lot of time to whip together the overlay, so you'll just have to bear with it. But feel free to just hang out with us. We're just chatting. The players are going to hopefully question me about Colossus so they can fluff out their adventures, etc. If you guys are watching, feel free to throw questions at us and we'll try and answer them. If you've got a specific question for somebody in their character, just put their name before the question, etc. We also have Arcane sat in the chat. He will answer questions as well if I cannot. Yeah, sponsors wise, it's not really a sponsored show, but you know, everyone that we sawdust and swear words. So sawdust and swear words.
My first use.
They have some lovely pens, and we will be doing a surprise opening, box opening tomorrow, as they've sent some stuff for us at Heavyweight to give away to people, fans, etc. So watch out for tomorrow. We'll do an unboxing. Roughworks Creative, Sawdust and Swear Words, Shana, who I think is live now actually. We've got all our social media, Heavyweight stuff, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. We have a Patreon page that if you wish to support us, either subscribing to the Twitch channel with your good hand earned cash or your Twitch Prime, which is still earned cash, but you know, or you want to go to the Patreon, pick a tier, throw a couple of dollars or pounds at us. We just pump it back into the stream for artwork and stuff like this. If you do go to Patreon, you are rewarded with a magazine that tells you all about the world of Colossus, or at least a segment of it as we go each month. And it has some lovely lore and lovely, lovely stuff in there. Do it. Give us your pennies. I'd just like to answer the chat. What if, to Griff, what if bums don't want to be on seats? What if they wish to be free roaming? That's entirely up to you. It's your bum at the end of the day. You do you. And Lucy Rosa, I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm very good. I've had a good day. I've done some homeschooling with the kids. We did a bit of basketball and football. I'm eating pizza, which you will see pop on the screen every now and then. And yes. So, feel free to keep chat alive as you normally do on a Tuesday. Take advantage of Mel, Jade, Luke and myself if you have questions that you want to ask about their characters, the adventures, the campaign, the world, or just in general. You know, let's just hang out and have a laugh. So with me, as you can see, I have Luke, who plays Kespion.
Hello.
Kespion, with the fabulous artwork from Lissy. Her link may or may not pop up in the chat.
I can't work out what.
It's on the screen.
No, this way.
It's on the screen. It's fine. We've got Jade, who plays Xandria. Again, you can see the beautiful artwork. We have Mel playing Ari, who is not in her lovely wig this week. And me portraying Heavy. I wanted lightweight, but Rob said not a chance. So, you can see in the chat, if you go to @LilyTuft on Twitter and Instagram, you'll find Lily, who does the artwork for these characters. And as you can see, they're beautiful.
Not that I know Lucy's artwork off by heart or anything,
No. Not that we've got direct debits straight to her, straight to her pencil.
Basically at this point.
So I'll try and put some background music on without blowing your ears out. I'm now going to make a map of a place called Viconia, which is in the far north and is very wintry. And if I get time, I shall do Savai as well. So yes, also in the north. So, chat, you three and chat, go nuts.
Yeah, I've got my eye on chat. Keeping an eye on any questions or shenanigans that come inbound. So Viconia, was that where the shouty lady and her more amenable brother, not to be confused with the shouty lady below
Yeah.
and her more amenable brother. Is that what they were from?
So they are from Savai, which is adjacent to Viconia. So the orcs.
I was remembering it was.
It is that yes, both there. So you met groups from both sides. So Savai is an orc country, and Viconia is a more human-esque dwarves, etc. country.
Right.
Those of Savai are all orcs and very knightly in the way. Well, as you can see, their plate armor and stuff.
Sir.
Yeah, sir, hoorah!
There. I've got my notes up. I'm like, aha.
Yeah,
That's cheating.
Yeah, put your notes away.
So you
Put your notes away.
You met Victoria and Alexander. Is who you met. But yes, they are from
Such
Savai.
odd names for orcs.
That's racist,
Hey.
sister.
It's just not a name you would initially think of. Like, if you think about generic fantasy genre, like your orcs always have very harsh names. Those names are very human-esque nobility. So it's a very odd concept to have a character that is an orc with a very noble human-sounding name. That, for all we know, they could have had human parents.
That's what I was going to say. I was like,
But we.
awful times. I'm
Just
biased.
thinking
you
that
know.
big.
They
orc
might have been.
racism.
They might have been orphans. We don't know.
Are you sure you're not Zandura?
Yes, I am just racist to everyone.
No, well, she didn't say humans with the that sound of contempt. So.
Humans.
There's chunder everywhere.
So yeah, they are lovely people. And they're not orphans that you know.
They're not orphans. Oh, okay.
And it's not. So what we did with Colossus is we didn't want to hit the stereotypes of generic fantasy, because anyone can create a fantasy world and just copy paste Lord of the Rings essentially.
Yeah.
So, you know, you want, if you're gonna drag a lot of people into your world, you kind of want to show them and trip them up essentially. Like those thought processes you've had where you bump into two orcs with very, quotes, human names. That gets you thinking, because you've obviously got previous knowledge of, you know, maybe they're orphans, you know.
Well, there you go. Rob's put some explanation in the chat as well.
Oh, I see.
This, like, as someone who studied linguistics, specifically naming conventions, ooh. Ooh. Thankfully, AD has been spared some of the bizarre naming convention questions that I have put my other past DMs through. So,
You can do it.
Just to keep him on his toes. Just the next time one comes up.
I might just need to bust out some.
See, I'm terrible at naming. I just go on fancy name generator and go, oh look, I like that one. Cool. Random. Cool, I like that one.
Yeah, I think my my photo in the Discord group earlier sums up my naming conventions. Does it have an R sound at the end of it? Yes, and it's a name that I have come up with. For every character I have has an R sounding name, and I will prove it by just remembering what I've got.
Serenity.
Alyssa, Amelia, Aya, Zandria, Iliana, Zenestra, Serenity.
Serenity was a special being, though.
A super special being. We will love her. We will
Gracie's
cherish her.
asking, have we all met each other in real life?
We have.
Yes
Well,
and no.
Yeah, yes and
yes. I've met everyone on this screen in real life.
We almost met AD.
no. Yeah. We almost the same lot. Almost.
So close. We've known Jade for years.
Yeah.
Mel
like
and
the
I.
three of us basically are kind of from cosplay background back in the day, probably about 4 or 5 years we're talking now. And literally, when we all kind of ended up in the same thing together, we went, "Oh, hi, Jade.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Hi."
I'm not sure how the others were all like, oh no, half of this group.
Oh no.
And then it turned out I actually did know Kate. Because
Yeah.
I'd met her at a LARP game. I'd met her at my birthday weekend LARP game. And I was like, oh yeah, I tried to feed you pizza cake and you politely declined.
A smart woman.
Yeah.
I
Whereas
didn't
we
make it.
haven't met Kate or AJ or AD in person. But again, we've nearly met AD.
So close.
Nearly.
I tried.
And yeah, we tried. We tried to do the same mark together. It was fine.
And we will in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we also need to one day do a stream where we all are in the same place.
Yeah.
That would be
Because
nice.
that would be nice.
It is-
but
it is
that
a
might
plan.
be next year now. At this point,
Yeah, it ain't gonna be this year.
that seems like a not now idea.
It was Flamel Academy, Grace.
Yeah, that's the one where we nearly all met, but we've all also done or group Flamel. They are good folk. Go check them out if there's any space.
Also happens
No.
to be written by Arcane himself.
Yes, exactly.
So you know it's good.
And he's written a
Uh,
textbook.
Like ye
Actual
fifth textbook. Unbelievable.
Dwarf Warrior 25 is saying no D&D tonight, mate. Some of our brethren were unable to make it tonight, so we thought with 2 people down, it was the universe was saying, hey guys, maybe it's not to happen tonight. So we've got a sort of Q&A. 80 heavyweight gaming himself is doing some maps, and we are pretending we're answering your questions, but we're mostly talking amongst ourselves and getting easily sidetracked.
And there you go. Gracie's
no-
saying Sawdust and I really want to go. I've chatted to Rob about it. So
Yes.
yeah, let's do it.
It was very good.
very good.
So I have a question from an outsider's perspective, because this is obviously a little bit like other question about previous episode shows that you've seen from other places that do D&D online, but obviously not the exact same, because
Wow.
it's our show, not theirs. So Ari is clearly back on his old stomping grounds. He's in his backyard again. Is he enjoying being back? Back
Yeah.
in his.
I mean, apparently he slept with everything, so yeah. I love how I get to roll for that.
I'm sure Adi loved it.
My
It
favourite.
was a
times.
surreal moment in my DMing career.
How many you slept with? All of them.
All of them.
So it was a case of anything above a 10 was a yes, anything under a 10 was a no, and I think the lowest dice was a 13, 12 or 13. So yeah, the stars had aligned and Ari was definitely getting his end away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
But yeah, I feel like when he goes back to somewhere that he's not been to for a little bit, he probably enjoys the fact that you can just easily socialise with people and not have to work too hard and trying to get people to like him.
That seemed pointed.
Super pointed. I don't know who that could be aimed at.
Niall, if you're still on, you see this collection of mountains I'm building right now. This is the home to, and Roughworks if you're about, this is the home to Tom Left Up in Clan of the Nobeards, which will mean more to them than most of you. Or it might mean some to Evil Wabbit as well, actually. So, yes. Tom Left Hook is a LARP character of ours that, well, not of ours, but a friend of mine. And we, when I started creating this world many moons ago, before meeting up with Mr. Arcane and using his brain to make it bigger, yeah, they live and breathe within the world, so you will get to see some of my friends' characters throughout.
That's so cute.
Yes.
I've totally never taken characters from other games and used them as NPCs in my world. Never.
And nor
Not
should you.
in the.
Nor should you.
I've not taken characters that I've played elsewhere and made them into D&D characters. What are you on about?
Not in the slightest. So back to, as Evil Wabbit, as a player in 2 of AD's other games, do you watch his other stuff?
You'll see me in relatively regularly. So I just if I see that AD streaming and I'm like, I fancy watching that, I'll give that a go. I will pop on a bit
Most of us are
background.
in the peanut gallery most of the time.
Yeah.
Being wind-up merchants.
Basically.
Gracie is saying, Mel, at Mel, we really want to make some more wands for reasons. Also, it's very surreal to have someone else playing a character. Oh, jeez, my mobile just absolutely stacked it. It's definitely weird. Oh, for goodness sake, people, stop. This makes it look like people talk to me all the time. They never talk to me. Half of the people that talk to me are currently here. It's surreal to have someone else play a character called Ari. It's so weird. Though apparently it is a very... this character named Ari that I'm not intrinsically running from, someone said. It's definitely a different Ari in so many ways.
So Evil Wabbit's character-in-law is called Ari, and he's a very stone-faced librarian.
Fair.
But is a bit of a tart. I will give him that. He's a bit of a tart. So there are some similarities.
My Ari was named by me going through Fancy Name Generator with Luke, going, don't like that one, don't like that one. Oh, Aristotle, that could be fun. That could be shortened to Ari. Yeah, we'll do that. Yay.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, done.
Done.
I didn't technically name my character, somebody else named my character, and I just went, yeah, I like it, good, that'll do.
Sounds good.
I kind of named my character. It was a bit preempted by the name of apparently someone else's name for Jade's character. It's good. Apparently, you both got the name Ari from the same place, though.
Yeah.
So that's quite fun.
Good.
Good old fantasy name generator.
It's great though as well if you want something that like, because I think I went through the half-orc names for my other character in the other campaign, and she was like, I was just kind of looking through and I was like, I want something short, I don't want something complicated, and a lot of the orc names are very much like dead long and complicated, and I was just like, Bonnie, that'll do.
Yeah, I used a name generator for a werewolf pack name because I needed a pack name, couldn't think of one, so I just generated one, and I think we got the Infernal Alphas as our final result.
That's pretty cool. Infernal Alphas. Jesus.
The Infernal Alphas made up of a... What I can only describe as I've just made Serenity but as a wolf. Quite literally, because she's a Galliard, which is like a mixture of a performer and a fighter. So there's one of them, and then 2 non-fightery people.
I think Kess is probably my first Fae character who hasn't had a Welsh or like Celtic name.
Yeah. I don't know, like if we'd given Xandria and Kess like Celtic names, I don't think it would be the same.
No, I think with where they come from, it would just have seemed a little bit more out of place, I think.
Yeah. Because whilst the Fae are, you know, very Celtic in their being, the place that Xandria and Kesfion come from is very sort of deserty. Would you say Arabic-y area? Yeah.
You've never been to the deserts of Pollock in Glasgow? I don't know.
Well, to be fair, most places are a desert right now. If you
Deserted, yeah.
deserted.
So yeah, they do have a the fair that Luke and Jade are playing are very Arabian or Persian or that old Aladdin style flavour.
Yeah.
Other Disney shows are available.
Desert.
Like the Lion King Mother Kippers. Now that's something I'm going to rip off, I tell you right now.
Oh my god. Yes.
Where's the cat?
Where's the cat?
Oh, Asta's not here. I would have done it with Asta. He's relatively the right colour.
So I've got a question for Luke and Jade. Why
God.
siblings?
Because I've never done it before,
Um.
and I crave making things hard for myself.
Well, I'd already settled on being Xandria, the Fae Warlock, before we even set up this idea. Like, I already had her put away in a stash ready for another campaign, and so when you came to us and says, right, we're going to be playing in my world, blah, 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 and I was like, cool, I can play this.
Blah,
and then
blah,
Luke was
blah,
just
blah,
like,
blah.
blah, 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 blah. And then Luke came along and said, you know, I really want to fancy playing a Fae as well. Should we play some form of relation? And I think we discussed different relations, but we settled inevitably on siblings because it is a bit easier playing and it's not weird.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
No, I think it was similar to Jade. I constantly have a backlog of characters that I just build them for fun because I have no control over my life. So I could have used any of those wonderful pre-builds. But where's the fun in that when you can build yet another character?
Yep.
And if there's an option where I'm allowed to play a well thought out Fae world character, then yeah, I'm gonna do that. And Colossus has some really interesting lore for Fae in it, so I just wanted to get all up in that, and it's fun to play different dynamics.
Because in our Spelljammer one, we're all, well,
Kind of
little
opposites
islands
of what
unto
we're doing
themselves.
yeah, Serenity and Prosper are very not at each other's throats, but they're not exactly
They don't
very
understand
close.
each other at all.
Yeah.
They're two very, very different.
Chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
Very chalk and cheese. Whereas I think Serenity and Connie, for example, are quite okay with getting on with each other. So,
Connie gets where Serenity's coming from because she is true neutral and very much out for herself, and very much gets that that's what Serenity's doing as well.
Jesus Christ, they're all cashing in their bloody gravy boats.
Of course they are. So yeah, playing a sibling dynamic was just a nice change up. And then of course there is already a backup character waiting in the wings.
That scares
something
me
stupid
so
happens.
hard. That scares me so hard.
Well, I had a backup Kalatesh wizard 2 sessions in when we did Spelljammer, just because I knew I'd do something dumb as Serenity, and the same kind of mindset is there with Xandria, even though she's less likely to rush in and do something stupid. I still feel because of certain elements of her, she is likely to possibly be the first one to die out of the group. So having a backup ready is a
Not
good
if
idea.
the fighter has anything to say about it.
Something tells me the fighter can't fight nature.
He will try.
Evil
Will
Wabbit.
try.
Yes, they did put a lot more effort into their backgrounds than you have on Saturday. But I will say that the Saturday is a straight-out-the-box module for Pathfinder 2e. So if you like Pathfinder, watch us on Saturday. And they're using
It's
pre-generated characters.
good.
It is a very good
It's
one.
Tales of Pusk.
It was the
Tale
fall
of
of... It's the
Pumpkin.
adventure known as Fall of Plaguestone, but
It's the tale of Buska.
it's
The Tale of Puskins.
In fact, stand by. I may or may not have had this passed to me today.
This is why you don't give me a challenge to do something, because if I want something, I'm gonna get it.
Let's see if this works.
This was one of those moments.
Yeah, see, I struggle a lot more with character stuff with D&D because I'm still relatively new to D&D. I want to say. Like,
Oh my god, that's so
yeah.
cool.
Oh my god, yes! That is
so
so
good.
cool.
It obviously doesn't work very well on the
On
background.
the
does it?
white, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Yes.
I love how it's got
love it.
four places
It's
still.
crossed
It's
out.
crossed out.
Puskins.
The Adventures of Puskin.
Well, there you go, kids. So yeah, you too can change the world. If you just,
If you can get 10 followers / subscribers.
Yeah, so we hit 200 followers the other day, so thank you very much for all that. Yeah, bloody snow leopard, it. Yeah, so Pathfinder 2nd Edge pre-gen characters, but what we are doing once the adventure is done is I will be taking the players on as they roll, not necessarily new characters, but tweak the ones they have so they're more comfortable with them, and we will run a full campaign. And yeah, because why not? Why not bring Pathfinder, D&D and Carbon all to one place here at Heavyweight for you?
And then somewhere in all of that, we have a vampire game to slot in.
We do have a rather lengthy vampire one-shot that will be coming up, possibly a two-shot, depending on Jade's story time.
Depends on how quickly the players get through it without
Oh,
killing themselves, killing each other.
Sorry. Right, Rob, I have to get that. I'm going to have to sort that out, mate. I'm going to have to sort it out and get the exclamation mark Ovis. So those of you that can see Island of Rob in the chat, yeah, he's part of the Vikings of Twitch. They do loads of charity stuff for Extra Life and stuff like this. Rob is I say a casual streamer. He streams regular. He's a gamer, as in a computer gamer. Absolutely beautiful guy. And if you go to his channel and it's not on cooldown, which it always bloody is when I go on, and exclamation mark Hovis, you will get the Yorkshire version of Rob. So as you can imagine, I'm on his channel every 5 minutes trying to get that Hovis. I tell the lad, that loves it.
So weird.
And as Sawdust has pointed out, Iron Kingdoms will be coming to the channel as well.
Oh my god.
Name
We're
a
gonna
town,
have, like,
Bisto.
busy.
Right, Dwarf Warrior. Right, I'm changing the price to them bits. Right, let's get carried away now. Let's get carried away now. I can't have Bisto in the world of. Can I have Bisto? Ask.
You could add something on the end of it.
Ask
Yeah.
Arcane. Bistopheles, maybe? We'll get away with that.
Rob says no.
Rob says no. Well, Rob, you've got to put in more bits than he has, mate. That's how this works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bisto.
Oh, nice. We do, one of our Celestials is known as Beasto, Beasto, Grave, as in death, Eye, as in eye. Beasto, Grave Eye. Oh yeah, what a lad.
That's my one.
Oh jeez. Well.
So yeah, you stopped me making maps. I
I mean, we
Sorry.
didn't stop you making maps, did we?
Somebody, I
Probably.
read something and then that was me.
Oh, you
distracted.
read.
We're getting the blame though, because you're on this side.
Oh, definitely.
That is nothing new. I just realised I've come into the office and not put the light on, so it's progressively getting dark. Hang on, as if by magic, I will turn the lights on. Oh, never mind.
That's helping.
You can see my other half. Never mind. Ta-da!
That does it.
That does it. Magic.
Oh, I love me a good map.
Maps. I attempted to make a map for something I did send through to Ailey. I tried to use this, couldn't get it to work quite how I wanted to do because it seems to do big world maps better than it does making like singular cities. And so in the end, I decided to just use paint.
It definitely looked like you'd used paint, I'll give you that.
Drew a circle, coloured it in, did some other bits and pieces, drew some lines on it, drew some towers, put a thing in the middle, boom, done.
I
how you
kind
map.
of rock between doing like really like complex, like this is what certain buildings look like, and just like drawing it in like eraser marker on like grid paper, just be like, and the port is somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I was gonna ask something about the Lord phase seasons Lord's phase. There you go. That's a word.
I'll take your word on that.
Yeah. Because I did ask the other day whether or not, and this was very important to something I was watching. Was it something I was watching? I think it was something I was watching, and it was whether or not the seasonal lords had genders. And I think I got told that.
No, because archfey are beyond your gender. Binary.
Yeah.
They can determine their own title.
Yeah. And I now can't remember what it was I was watching that was so important about this whole do the fear of gender, but there was obviously something really important.
Was it because we were talking about other fae in the other thing?
No, now I remember. It was because I was watching Cirque du Soleil clips.
Yeah,
As you do.
of course.
Well, the whole show is about the 4 seasons, and it was just one of those things where the, I guess, overlord of all of the seasons in that show is portrayed by a guy called Vladimir. I don't know his second name, but he's a really famous aerialist, and he used to perform in. He did the show in Blackpool, and then he spent like the rest of his time doing a show in Vegas, I think it was. I don't know if he still performs because he was like possibly late 30s, early 40s back in the early noughties, so I don't think he actually performs anymore. But it was one of those things where I was watching the show from the start, and I was just like looking at bits and pieces and thinking, I wonder if that's how, you know, AD and Arcane have thought about it in like terms of Colossus. Is it this sort of thing? And it just really got me thinking whether or not those scenes from the show would possibly be useful thinking long run.
Brain ideas.
Yeah, because whilst Xandria knows, well, Xandria and Caspian, I think, both know spring and summer, they don't know winter and autumn.
Aye. If you know it, he knows it. If he knows it, you know it. They've
Pretty much.
never had a thought that they didn't share with the other, I don't think. Mel, question for you. So, what's your character's background? Because obviously we've talked
can only
about
obviously share so much.
The roasty toasty siblings.
Yeah.
Can I just comment on Evil Wabbit's comment first, because it'll be short.
Oh, sorry, I might have missed it.
No, it came after. You're doing it in the right order. You're doing well, Luke. You're doing well. So, before Mel answers her background on Harry, Evil Wabbit on a Thursday in our carbon game plays a synthetic humanoid. As he says, he's playing it gender neutral, and finding it tricky to remember to use gender neutral terms. It's one of those really important things, and not important things in the sense of people will make mistakes and then people will catch up on it again. And so I'm just giving a nudge out to James to fair play, mate. It's not an easy thing to remember, playing outside the box. So carry on, Mel. Just wanted to
That's fair. But yeah, basically, I came up with his background partly based on the character I already have, and partly based on the fact that AD sent me through a 3-page lore thing that was amazing.
Of course he did.
With links to specific people and links to specific things. I was just like, that is awesome. So I have probably written my most probably detailed background for a D&D character, or for a character possibly ever.
I'll take that.
Yep. So I wrote a really detailed background. Obviously, what I can tell you, and what is kind of already been revealed anyway, is that obviously Ari is from Ravenholm, in case you hadn't noticed.
Didn't know.
Didn't know at all. No, he's
Didn't know
human
at all.
and from that area. He's maybe not from the same area of Ravenholm, but he's from Ravenholm district. I don't really know what else to say because I can't really say anything else without it being.
Oh, with all the other players.
Yep, just dropping stuff. I automatically last week when when you went off to what turned out to be handing over something to the front reception guy, I honestly genuinely thought you were gonna go and rat Xandri out for something, anything. Could have made anything up, and they're more likely to believe Ari than they are Xandria. And for a moment, I was just thinking, "Oh my god, what is?"
And then the bar fight to end all bar fights happened.
No, I don't think he would because he hasn't seen her do anything that is warlocky or illegal or whatever. He's seen her do some fire, which a wizard could also do. So technically, I don't think he realizes because he hasn't. The only person that saw Eldritch Blast was Tesfion.
Yeah.
So that's the only one that people would go, that's a warlock thing in my brain anyway.
Yeah.
And so I think like he doesn't know. He doesn't know she's a warlock. He just thinks she's just fighting with daggers. She's a bit scary, but she's fine, you know.
And we'll keep it that way for as long as possible.
Pretty much.
So
I don't know whether he would rat her out or not. It depends on how well he knows her at that point. So
Yeah.
So does the swear words. When we made our LARP group for LT, AD, that's me in case you didn't know, requested we all wrote a short story about our characters and that we read all the other group characters, all the other members, their little short stories as well. And then it just added more depth and understanding to any decision we made, etc. So we had, at one point, 33 people in the group. And of those 33, I bet 18 of them had short stories that I'd worked with them, and then they put in their own stuff, and we've made it bigger and bigger. And we had hundreds of pages of Court of the Crimson June, which are the Sealy Fae within the desert lands of our LARP. And yes,
like space, like Fae.
one of them is the Prince of Summer, just saying, Titania's son. But he's bald.
Okay.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Yes, he's my murder target.
That's all right. There's a queue. So they,
There's a queue.
There's a queue. I'm right at the back. I'm like the last person at the back, just stood there going, hello.
so the collaborative writing works really well when you're generating characters for longer campaigns, especially at your tabletop. So yeah, it was good. It's a good exercise. If you're doing tabletop or you're planning to do a tabletop, sit down and hash out every inch of your backstory, and it'd be brilliant. You'd have fun.
Maybe don't do 245 personality questions though,
Oh,
because
God.
that's
That's a lot.
That's what Jade and I did to try and get an idea of the Sebs.
It was a great Sunday afternoon. I don't know what you're talking
And
about.
boy howdy. Oh well, we know these guys inside and out now,
Oh, God,
that's for
yeah.
sure.
I mean, RP questions are a really good way to get to know your
Well,
character.
they are.
Anyway. Like
Just
we all
maybe,
use it
like,
anyway.
Don't do as many as we
Don't
did.
do 200 and odd.
No.
Yeah. So, what was the defining moment in all of your characters' history before you all met? Start with Luke. I'm going to choose the second most defining moment because I think that's wiser for plot reasons. And it's probably the, would you say, fight between the two of them?
Verbal spat.
The verbal spat.
Yeah, because it wasn't really a fight. It wasn't physical. It was more a child shouting. It was pretty much, if anyone's seen My Neighbor Totoro, it's the fight the two little girls have. It's that level of verbal spat.
But a little bit older and with some more consequences. That's probably the safest one.
Yeah.
It resulted in another member of the tribe getting the absolute living crap beat out of them. But hey, sometimes you don't channel your anger well, and bad things happen. Don't do that, kids. It's bad. Anyone else?
Meeting a man called Nikolai, and that's all I'm going to say.
Ooh la la, Nikolai. Ooh.
I've turned it down now. No, I've turned it down.
Xandria's will most definitely have been her getting her warlock pact with her patron, mainly just because she, as a very stubborn child, went.
Xandria?
Yeah, very stubbornly went up to said patron and basically went, "Give me your power, I can be awesome with it." And that's it.
Shouts
Mic
him
drop.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, literally just, "Give me,
So,
I'd be cool."
for those listening, you should now be able to hear as a gift from the island of Rob himself. Can we hear that? 2 seconds.
I can't.
Yes. Yes, it's playing, kids. It's playing.
I can hear it.
Ah.
I heard the first bars of it. Went up.
Bisto, yes. So thank you very much for that, Island of Rob. That is going on the stream, kids, and you will be able to use the Harvest theme tune. Oh, so happy with my little self. Wonderful. I'm just gonna
I love how that's what he's been doing while we've been chatting. Programming that in, like, no.
Oh man. Yeah, there you go. Focus.
There's another question up here somewhere.
Yeah, I could have sworn there was another question.
Did I miss it? Sorry.
Alright, cool. Back to
Did someone get cheered by a cleric in the bar fight? As of yet, there hasn't been a bar fight, but I'm sure someone will be. I mean, it won't be ours because we don't actually have a cleric.
Well, our cleric is played by our lovely, on Saturday, is played by our lovely Kelly. And she decided to calm a situation down by picking up a chair and hitting somebody.
Sounds like
with it.
Kelly!
Hitting somebody.
It
with
was glorious. It was just beautiful.
I think I was watching that one, to be fair, and I was just like, tracks?
Yep. Seems about right. Seems legit. Seems like Kelly.
Yep, it certainly does.
It's what amuses me about Kelly playing this cleric was it this weekend or last weekend? Gone. With the level of intimidation, it was just the usual right up into the camera and just the whole, if you do this, then you'll be forgiven by Seren Ray. And it's just
last
like,
weekend, because I was watching that one. I didn't watch, it was like 2 weekends ago, yeah. So I was watching that one. Rob, wait, I came back to Seems Like Kelly.
Yeah, seems like Kelly. Rob.
Sharing
Seems like
somebody in the bar fight.
To de-escalate a situation. And what are your character's goals then? Start with Jade.
Ooh, Xandria's character goal is unfortunately gonna have to be kept quiet because it relates to a lot of things that are going on with Xandria, but the short of it is her goal is to try and fix a situation. That's all I'll say.
That's fair. I've been kind of guarded about my stuff too, so I can't say anything. Aries is to basically have an easy life. He just
I've just got I Have a Dream from Tangled playing in my head now.
Surrounded by enormous piles of
Piles of money.
basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Standard swashbuckling rogue fare, yeah.
Pretty much.
Outside of like the obvious Xandria pre-mentioned goals, probably his biggest goal that's just his is to try and find a way to make his sister better. Because anyone that's been watching will have noticed she not real good in the health. She not real good in the health.
It was one time.
Pretty brutal. You were coughing blood up for fuck's sake.
It was one time. I was wet, I was cold, I am not used to it. I like the desert where it is dry and humid.
Dry.
Put me in a tank, I am a bearded dragon. Oh.
Why'd you pick your classes that you picked?
Ooh.
Um,
Mine was because I've never not played a spellcaster, so I was like, I should probably try not play. Also, Luke helped me a hell of a lot create my character because I'm terrible at creating characters. So Luke had to sit with me and go, right, we're doing this. And then we looked through all the different classes and looked through all the different things, and I was like, that fits, that one works, I like that one.
Fair enough. What about you, Jade?
I seem to have a thing where I liked to play classes, but in slightly unconventional ways. All of my characters have been a flavor of a class with slight sprinklings of other things, or, you know, not generally the most played version of a class. I hadn't ever really played a warlock before, and it was on my list of classes to go to next. And I generally like the idea of playing a warlock that pretty much spends all of her time not really using any of her warlock given powers. Just because, you know, you have them doesn't mean you should use them. So yeah, I like the idea of being a stabby warlock. Vaguely like Ford, but not as odd.
I had started playing a fighter in a modern world homebrew in another campaign, but he was very range based. But I liked some of the mechanics that you could get with it. And similarly, I hadn't ever really played fighter as a class, like in the way that Kess is. And I like to try and build characters that are very different mechanics and personality wise each time I build a new character. So that's kind of what kind of came together for him. So it was. I tend to find that class and character personality kind of come parallel to each other when I'm building them. So it worked out good though. Or hopefully, I'm not sure. I hope it's entertaining to watch. But he's fun to play so far. A whole bunch of stuff came through, and I'm scrolling back.
Cool.
Dwarfor
So-
is saying, what has been your favourite moment in the campaign so far?
Oh geez. I think for like of someone else's character, it would probably be Griff's dancing, because that was just so wholesome. I can't deal with it. It was just so freaking cute.
Griff
I
has a
think-
very young heart, like. Kate's definitely
Yeah.
it comes across that Kate's playing Griff as just unaware of bad stuff, if you know what I mean, just sort of like, "Woo,
Yeah, it's
how's the music
just
playing? How's
so it's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Like it fills me with just so much joy. How Kate plays him. For stuff that like Kess has done, probably a bit of a weird one. But he's probably my least intelligent character that I've ever played. So I think having him accidentally say that it was Delphin, which was mostly Luke, also not realizing that we maybe didn't want to say that, but it all worked out quite well. So that was nice to kind of have that kind of character interaction, and have a little bit more kind of him kind of showing through, because a lot of this stuff has just kind of been him reacting to kind of death from the sky, death from the ground, death.
I do like initiative in my games, I'm just saying. So I've got two that are slightly... One of them from Arcane to essentially anyone in the chat and you three. Jade mentioned earlier that you really enjoyed the Fae lore that we put out. What other fantasy type lore would anyone, chat or you three, like me and Rob to tackle next? Celestials, demons, devils.
Celestials.
Right, alright, there you go. That's two.
Elementals as well. I'm always quite interested in elementals and how like that personifies into like a being. So that's always quite interesting.
Cool.
I love me an Azamar.
Yeah.
Love me an Azamar.
And there was another question aimed at me and Rob said he won't answer till I've answered. Evil Wabbit asked if we do any conversions of our world into Pathfinder 2e. So obviously the lore can be crossed over, and the classes and feats and magics that we create can be used as second ed. Now Rob said he'll let me answer first. My answer is I've already had a monster and a homebrew class converted, so I'm just having a cheeky look at them to see how well it works. This is first Rob's heard of it, so so yeah.
Surprise!
So
Happy birthday!
it's not a no, but or a yes. It's just to see how that process of conversion works, because it is a lot of extra work on what myself and Rob are doing and planning. And but if it's smooth enough and we can get the people in that are more knowledgeable in Pathfinder second ed, then 10 more patrons over next for that. Money does talk, kids. I'll give you that. Like, if patrons are throwing in thick and fast and they want us to do that sort of content, then we'll do that sort of content. But right now, I've tested it and it seems all right. But the more people we get, the more effort we can put into other stuff. So if we get lots of people subscribing to Patreon, to Twitch, whatever, then we can use that to channel into other people's skill sets. But right now, it's 5e. So you've got monthly requests, I'm just saying. Alright, brilliant. Rob, don't give them answers how to do it. Jesus Christ. So yeah,
Rob wants more work.
He's obsessed. So yeah, Pathfinder second ed. If you're into it, it's good. And we will look at trying to do some stuff. If you're not into it, play it, watch it. It's really good. It is really good. So yes. Cool. So what do you say? Celestials and elementals?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Celestials as in pantheons, or celestial creatures upon the material plane?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
I'm sorry. You didn't say we had to choose between.
Yeah, you just.
I've got another question for you.
I like the celestial creatures. Like,
Yeah, there you go. And elemental wise, how do you mean? Like, do you mean earth, fire, air, water, or the broad stretch of it?
like I'm always interested in how you bring that to a monster form or whatever. So for me, it's always like it's interesting to see sort of how you'd bring like a fire elemental to being.
Okay.
And that kind of stuff really interests me. So.
Lovely. Write all this down, Rob. I'll be writing this down.
I'm really excited to see more Fae stuff. Like super excited. Like I can't wait. I can't wait until a Fae finger's in front of us and just being like.
I can't wait because then I actually, the languages that I took will actually come in useful.
Yeah.
Instead of just translating the fact that she's talking about me. I don't like it.
Well, to be fair, we are only a few sessions in. You literally just got to the city, so I'm quite aware that you're going to be prodding the face stuff. But yes.
Well, I mean, Andrea and Kes have actually got something they're supposed to be doing and have yet had the chance to do it. Granted, it has only been
Because
one
Aaron's
day.
only just had a chance to do his little
Yeah,
side
it's only
quest.
been one actual day in this city.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
There's just
Feels like longer.
too much Keen, and the siblings have zero chill.
Yeah. Absolute no chill.
That is very
Like, if
true.
you think we've got no chill, like,
Oh boy. Desert siblings do not understand the word quit. Sorry, my cat has decided to sit on the shelving unit next to me and is just being weird.
oh boy.
Oh,
I'm
no,
trying to see. I hope that's not a question, because that's bloody long.
I think it's
It's
basically
to do with the
saying,
homebrew.
yeah,
No,
it's Rob saying he'd be more likely to see Carbon homebrew because he's more comfortable with it than Pathfinder.
On that, Rob.
Oh god. Here he goes.
5e has been what I've worked with for a while, so I'm very comfortable with homebrewing it all and keeping ahead on it. I like to think that at least somewhat balance everything as it comes and it's interesting, etc. Pathfinder 2 is very much brand new to me, so it's a bit more difficult. I still don't know all the rules compared to 5e, where I feel like walking compendium. It'll be on the table, but we'll need a few sessions yet. You'd be more likely to see carbon homebrew. You are correct, Rob. We'll just leave that there, that you are correct. We are more likely to see carbon homebrew. We might need a call after the stream, Paul, just saying.
Like I said, I just love the fact that literally I sent you probably like a very small amount of backgroundy stuff for my characters, and then I literally got back like 3 pages of more.
You said to me
And I
you
was
wanted
just
to
like-
be a bit of a flirt and a swashbuckler. And
Yep.
then, yeah, and then it went from there. But
Yeah.
this is the cool thing about Colossus, is you guys are able to, we can pick you up and put you places like when you come up with your little character concepts. So for example, Kate playing Griff, she brought him from the Wizards of the Coast world of Faerun with Water's Deep and, or Waterdeep, sorry, and Baldur's Gate and stuff, which didn't really fit to what we had. So a little chinwag with Kate, and she got her whole Chuck Ruani land, to the point where I got her to Rob, and me and Rob spent maybe 3-4 nights on the blower to each other, just writing all of Griff's land, culture, pantheon, everything, just so Griff could come in and be like, ah yeah, follow the Thunderbird. So yeah, so we created an entire nation and culture and everything for off the back of Kate going, can I play Kenku? And we were like, oh no, we've not done Kenku, they're further down the list.
I feel like Kenku are either coming really early in your world building, or like they come in like 6 years afterwards.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground.
Why are you dying, Jack?
Is it the cat?
Yeah.
So sorry. I sat playing World of Warcraft next to me and the cat just full on spread across the keyboard and the mouse and has basically just ran her into death.
Oh no, Rob said I can't wait to tackle the furbolgs.
But I have a lot of feelings about furbolgs.
Oh no, not furbolgs.
So many feelings about furbolgs.
I do not want those.
Why do you not want furbolgs?
No, I have bad history with furball.
What
good.
what TF is a furball? Go on then, one of you will answer. What is a furball?
I love
Hang on.
It depends on if you stick to like the. Basically, 5e sets them out as like a Fae kind of sub race. Somewhere like Fey giant. They've got
Rob's still a good description.
yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
So like if you made a Goliath more like a druid with floppy ears.
Yeah,
Jesus.
basically.
You know, the cow face. You know what I mean? Totally
Yeah,
the same.
like
bit.
that's more of a later kind of adaptation, kind of into the aesthetic of them. And to be honest, the previous was, I know cow face does not sound good, but before that it was worse, arguably. So it looked like something that you would get under like a Three Belly Revolts gruff bridge, and that's on a good day. That was like the attractive furbolgs. So now they've kind of revamped them a bit and made them a bit more visually interesting, which I think it does make characters a bit more fun to play when they seem, if they are otherworldly characters that don't just look like a big bloke, which is kind of what they were previously. So yeah, they're very sort of earthy, true neutral for the most part, giant-blooded Fae is, I think, the sort of standard for 5e.
That's not far off, to be fair.
I play a lot of furbolgs. I have strong opinions on furbolgs.
I unfortunately spent a lot of time dying to furbolgs in World of Warcraft, and unfortunately they have coloured my opinions of all.
Lol.
But you love Emlyn. He's a barrel of laughs.
Do I love Emlyn? Are we sure about that? I never said the words I love Emlyn.
I love
Nobody
Emlyn.
did. Thank you, Mel.
Especially,
Can't even remember what you
especially
look
his skubal colouring, like that is the best.
You are very welcome, Sawdust and Spoilers. If anyone ever wants to hear me preach about furbolgs for hours on end,
Oh, good stuff, Catherine.
you can.
Dwarf Warrior is asking, AD, what race don't you like using, or in general, what don't you like to use in your games on 5e as a DM and why?
Jesus. How many questions is that? What race don't you like
6.
using? Or
What,
in general?
what race don't you like using in 5e as a DM?
I don't like, for the sake of it, races. So let me pull up my encyclopedia. There we go. Give me a sec. So, of the list of races they have out so far, the ones I don't really feel the need to do anything with, really.
Furbolgs.
I don't mind furbolgs. I'm a big fan of that giant Fae stuff. I love giants and I love Fae, so they kind of tricked me there. I hate turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's valid.
What's the others? Some of the more, they're not really standard, but there's a couple. There's a race called the Vidalken, which I like. They strive for perfection above all else. They're a bit like super Shaolin in their view on life. Is that thing of perfection has to be completely up there. But to me, that's a race to a personality rather than. You can play anything and strive. Kess can be striving to be the most perfect twin-bladed fighter alive, etc. But I don't like gnomes in computer games or gnomes in I don't like gnomes from Faerun, which is the official Wizards of the Coast world. But I love my gnomes. Not that I'm biased somewhat.
Biased.
But yeah, I very much like Celtic Irish, Scottish, Welsh, ye olde. I love a lot of that. Not necessarily the supernatural fae side of it, which I do think is cool, but I also like the cultural side of it. So the gnomes and the halflings in Colossus are very clan. The gnomes are very Irish, Welsh, and the halflings are very Scottish. I say very. There's the inspiration I took from Bucky, who you know. But yeah, I do like the tartan and the clans and the families and that sort of mentality. So gnomes in normal world would be the ones I don't like from normal default, but I like them in mine. What don't I like to use in my games? It's not that I don't like to use them, but I don't like to just assume that greenskins are bad. Like again, I said it earlier on in the stream, anyone can get a fantasy world and copy paste Tolkien's world, which I'm a big fan of, but I don't see the point of everyone doing the same thing and calling it different names. So I tend to...
Yeah, no, I get that.
Not on purpose, but don't make the baddies goblins. Like, I just don't attack camps with goblins, and, you know, there's a goblin tribe up there that gets, you know, stealing children in the night and stuff. Like, if the goblin's bad, the goblin's bad. If the human's bad, the human's bad. If the elf's bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have that with Drow. I'm like, no, there has to be good Drow.
yeah,
First and foremost.
exactly that. So yeah, Irish dwarf for me. Irish gnome with a perfect accent. Yeah, you're not doing it, are you? So, but yeah, so hopefully that waffle will answer your question, Mr. Dwarf. Yeah, missing some.
Back to map making he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I obviously I have the obvious question for Zandria, but I know I'm not going to get the answer of why the hell she hates humans. But I'm sure I'll find out.
Yeah.
It's
You
mainly
shall.
it's mainly just because Zandria's opinion and what she's been told and seen of humans has generally been utter shit. And
I mean, humans are not good inherently, as Aidy's just said. You know,
well,
they're
yeah,
not like...
but it's
Hey, don't pin this on me. I like humans.
the ones that she's seen, you know, they're all just fighting for something that they shouldn't and can't have, you know. And going off, you know, her opinion of human has been coloured even further by being in this city and hearing, oh yeah, so the Lord and Lady who host the blood bubble basically just to flaunt around how much wealth they have. And she's like, no, and she hates people who flaunt their wealth. Hess, I think, is pretty much the same. I think it was one of the questions we both had to answer in our 200 and odd roleplay questions, and it was, what do you hate in a person? And I think we both agreed, like, flaunting wealth where it's not needed, you know.
Flaunting wealth
Arian
and,
is lovely expensive clothes and lovely
and glory
expensive
stealing.
swords.
Glory
yeah.
stealing. They do stuff that they haven't.
Yeah,
Yep.
liars and showmen, basically. Which just sounds like Ari, so, you know.
Like I said, we kind of swapped characters because Serenity was very much the,
Yeah.
you know, the bard, you know,
Yep, the
showman,
liar and the
essentially.
showman.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
basically just swapped characters because Connie also hated exactly the same thing. So, you know.
So,
So you actually know the answer to the question. There is a deeper reasoning behind it, but obviously that needs to come out in the game.
Yes.
Evil Wabbit makes a point of good dark elves are usually associated with Drits. I don't know if you know of Drits, Luke.
No.
So, a chap known as, I'm going to say Robert here, Salvatore? I can't remember. Is it Robert? James? Anyway, Salvatore wrote and still writes a lot of D&D books, and he originally started writing one about a dark elf that decided they were good. They went off on their travels and adventured with a Black Panther called Guinevere, and yeah, like super good, and they're like the hero of blah blah blah. So everyone now who generally thinks of good dark elves, R.A. Salvatore. His first name it is Robert. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, They're really good stories, to be fair. They're quite quick,
I
fast.
might have
They're very. He's
little-
on like book 30, mate, and they read so fast. So if you
That's that is a bold statement for someone who reads as fast as I do. I will check that out at my online book dispensary, and quite possibly throw some money that person's way.
25
No,
years.
I just similarly hate going for tropes. If I have a fantasy world, like, sure as heck, I'm not going to create a fantasy world that has inherent race issues in it. There's enough of that in the real world. Like, I'm not going to
add to it.
I'm not going to, in a world where I can have anything. Like, obviously, you need to have conflict, but otherwise, no one's going to go adventuring. Like, what are you going to do? I'm going to adventure to my grand's to bring her some cookies, which is an amazing idea for a one-shot.
I'm just saying.
But, like, it doesn't really work for, like, a serious campaign. Like, you need to have you need to have bad ends. But I don't ever want that to be, I want it to, if there is people with such views, that it to be obviously stigmatized. That this is not a good thing that this person is doing. So yeah, I'm like, no, people, we're gonna have drow in positions of power, and I'm gonna make you feel bad for thinking that person was up to no good.
I think I play more in the class, like not going for like the typical class thing. More so with Connie, my paladin, because she's not exactly a typical paladin.
Yeah, she's a barbarian.
Yeah.
Barbarian.
It's very similar to how old bards apparently must seduce everything in sight. They want to F everything in sight. And I was like, I am not having that. Not having that as a bard. Which is why I have never said, I would like to roll to seduce a serenity, or, you know, I would like to do this. No.
But see, like, Swashbuckler Rogue fitted Ari more than Bard.
Yeah.
Because...
I don't think I could see Ari as a bard.
No, well...
Ari's naturally charismatic rather than proactively charismatic.
Yeah.
Whereas
and he's
bards
more,
go out of their way to be charismatic.
Yeah, but he's more kind of like, he just wants to get out of dodge, he doesn't want his face to be hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you three saw it, but Rob put a message up saying he has war stories of his time at the Blood Bowl.
I did see that. I have
So,
war flashbacks from our time at the Blood Bowl.
I don't mind telling you, but the 4 named individuals that were responsible for actions at the Blood Bowl, or at least getting blamed for it, are Rob's old party.
Of course they are.
That's amazing.
Love it.
Yeah. So it was.
Oh my god.
It was
But
actually,
I was wondering, you know, when you were like, I've got this person and Marcus and this person, and you were like, I was like, these are very detailed.
So Marcus, Curdle, Oriana, and Tails are Rob, Becky, Eddie. Who else did I say? And Katie. Katie played Marcus, a rogue assassin, and was well. You already know he was the owner of the Cave of Bats. But yeah, Cave of Bats may have been changed from Bat Cave.
Hi.
Yeah.
Do you want to move your... Thanks.
Move that tail.
Move that tail.
Yeah. So question from Dwarf Warrior. I'd argue that James, that the best character is Artemis and Dairy, but we'll get to that. Dwarf Warrior, question for all of you, including Adi. What races lore do you like the most and why? I'll go first because it's real simple. The orcs, especially the Savai orcs. We have orcs on the other side of the world that are Furian orcs, which are your Nubian, savannah, hunting, gladiatorial, very physical, noble orcs. And the Savai orcs are a very knightly powerhouse orcs. Yeah, so I have to be again biased. I love my orcs. And these three probably don't have anything to say on the world of Colossus, but they can go anywhere. Mel,
Oh god. I think now. I like the dwarven lore actually. I find it, like you were saying earlier about the clans and stuff. I find it really interesting how there's so many different types of dwarf, and so many different ways you can take it. So I find them quite interesting. I haven't actually played one yet, but I also like my half-orc because I'm biased. To be fair, in terms of race lore, not so much, but race actual things that you get as part of the race. Relentless endurance, man. Saved my butt so many times.
Relentless endurance is pretty badass.
Saved my butt so many times upon it, so it's like, oh my god.
What about you, Jade?
I can't decide between tieflings and elves, and that's the broad term elves, because you can have elf, you can have drow, you can have half elf, you can have elven. So I think I'd probably say tiefling more, because I've spent more time researching the tiefling background for my tiefling monk Aster. The variations you can get on tieflings are really cool. Like the one that I've got for Aster is the Zariel tiefling background, and it's so cool. I love the whole Zariel story from Avernus. It's such a good read. I remember looking at it the first time because I got given that that variation from AJ when I started playing in his game, and I was like, why have I heard that name before? And then I went looking on it, and I was like, oh, Zari, yeah. And then I started reading, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I kind of rabbit holed way down into Avernus, and I pretty much read most of the story for Avernus. And I've never played it as a campaign.
Luke?
I would have to say from like core stuff, if that makes sense, like from like canonical things, probably tieflings again, just because there is so much customizability within them as well. There's so many options to build and learn, and absolute lore whore. From homebrew stuff, gotta be Fae. Just there's just again there's as a Celtic person, it's very close to my heart, and there's so many weird and wonderful things that you can do with them, and rubs hands like fly.
I was gonna say, we've come across so many Fae in like various campaigns now, and every time we do, Luke's little face is just like, Fae!
Yeah.
I get so excited and then so scared.
Celtic fear.
Celtic fear.
Celtic fear.
Celtic fear.
Yep.
Get that written down.
That's...
Not even one. Jesus Christ. Cheers, Dave, is what I meant to say.
Words.
So much going on.
Seem to be an issue.
Do you like my Rob C. Nesbitt vest? I thought I'd go all out. Oh, by the way, the beard's been given the go-ahead, and I'll be growing a beard long enough to plait, apparently. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so Mel is modelling, hopefully mine won't be blue, but...
But a beard nonetheless.
You've probably done some evil wabbit that I need to be thankful for, so you can take that. Lovely. The map is coming along, actually.
Yeah.
We do love a good map.
You're going for the Viking look? No, Dave. I thought I'd go for the, green forest of Elverland. And yeah. So my north, as all norths should be, is a snowy tundra. And I essentially, for the Savai, rammed orcs, Russians, barbarians, and I don't know if I should drop the other inspiration for it in just yet, because it's quite cool. I'm dead proud of it, and I want to bring that out in more detail. But yeah. And the Viconians, they could not be more Norse if they tried.
Oh, exciting.
But there is Clan Ironbow, baby. You don't need to spend your bits on Clan Ironbow. Clan Ironbow already exist in Viconia, my good man. Clan Ironbow are a bunch of dwarves that, at an early age, have to go out into the wild and find themselves a tundra boar, which is an enormous boar that they can ride, very much like other fantasy stories. They ride large rams, boars, etc. Because why not? They're dwarves. You get that boar, and you are not allowed to rear another boar until that one, and it lives its entire life with you. Once it dies, you have a very special tombstone made that you then must carry around with you at all times. Some of the dwarves wear them as shoulder guards on their pauldrons, others put them on their shields, some put them into their chest pieces, some have helmets fashioned around them, and they must carry the name of that boar throughout, and they are known as Clan Ironbow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, we're all
Don't
over
get
for
me
the
Iron Boar feels.
I know, right? Okay.
And that was another concept that came out of sat round a pizza talking LARP groups. Because I had it in the world and it was a good idea to come up with, so yeah. Anything else? I can keep this up all night, kids.
I mean, yeah.
I'm honestly surprised you haven't caved and gone back to World of Warcraft yet.
Yeah, I was up on it late last night, so 25 clans. 25 clans I wrote over the last bloody 5-6 days. 25. And that's 35 NPCs total with the grand clans and the minor clans.
That is just
Stupid.
insane.
It's stupid is what it is.
Almost as many NPCs as you had to write for me to sleep with, apparently.
To be fair, I just went to
You
a
have
name
slept with
generator.
every clan.
Went to a name generator and rolled the dice is what I did with Harry.
That one.
So yeah,
There we go. That's a new goal for Ari, is to sleep with the leader of those 25 clans.
Wow.
Install himself as the new dynasty leader.
That is.
That bad. I wasn't planning on having him that bad, but it kind of happened that way, as all good D&D games do.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought it was amazing. So.
Oh, Dave's got you only 35 NPCs. You're slipping.
Only right, mate. That's just for there. All right. Let's not worry about the rest of the world. But, so there will be more. So that is actually June's edition that will be coming out this month. What are we in? May. So at the end of May, you will get issue 5 of Arcane Script, and it is Kozen, which is what we call the underneath, because the Underdark is probably copyrighted. But yes. Pottermire feels like so long ago. Mate, Pottermire is a stroke of genius, so I'm a big fan of Pottermire. So last month was Pottermire, and that is one of our Surrupt nations that are in the southern lands. And we essentially took dreams, nightmares, Egypt, and our own spin, rammed it all into a bowl, and come out with Pottermire. There's a sapphire pyramid.
Oh.
There is a river. So many people know of like the River Styx and various other waters features that go through the underworld. Ours runs deep within Pottermire's land, so you can go to that. The Pharaoh of Pottermire is a Kalashatar, I think it's pronounced, and the dream spirits guide them, etc. And they can walk the paths into the dreamland. They have to fight against nightmares. You get to meet I will pronounce this wrong, so I'll let Rob write it in the chat. The nightmare tieflings that represent
Just my island.
represent different nightmares. So of the ones we've done so far, I have a couple. I'm also a big fan of Vittoria, and I didn't get to put enough detail into that because we'd only just started, and I've learned a lot since then. But Pottermire so far is probably my favourite we've put out. It's
I
deep.
like the concept of like having your nightmares come to life. Like that's
just
always a good concept.
just meeting them in a tavern. You're like, shit.
I'm really looking forward to the idea of us possibly going to Pottermire and having to fight nightmares, because you know, I said I was watching Big Trouble in Little China the other day.
Yes.
There's a line in it where it's what was it? Only dreams can defeat dreams. And I was just like, somewhere along this campaign, there's gonna be like a nightmare creature, and only.
Why do I get the feeling that Xandra's gonna have a real hard time?
Xandra's gonna have a real hard time.
It's accurate.
With nightmares.
Okay.
No. I'm trying to think if technically Xandra and Kessa fought similar creatures to the nightmare things, but I think they're more shadow darkness.
You haven't fought those.
No. We have definitely fought something of a dark nature though.
You fought, I can't remember what they call them. You did fit.
Shadow
yeah.
things.
You fought some nasty fit.
Yeah.
Which is always nice.
Nasties.
Nasty.
Oh god, yeah, I see what you mean about that word. Tifal.
Oh, has he put it in?
Yeah, the Tifal.
Tifal Ahalam. It's so small, I'm just going to copy it and paste it into
Tifal Alam. Tifal
Alam. Yeah.
Basically, tieflings were nightmares instead of devils, so when the party kept talking to a woman who kept dropping something out of her mouth and pocketing it, 4 perception checks later did they realise it was her teeth. They kept regrowing.
Lovely. At least face was great, I bet it was.
Yeah, so Rob took him through that, and obviously, so he plays on a Wednesday, and it must have took him 2 or 3 hours, and by the time they got to the end of the session, it was the last couple of perception checks they clicked, and every one of them was like, oh no, that is...
Oh no.
Yeah. Side note, AD, you know when we do our next Suruk province, that I'm 100% bringing in sand ships? You can kiss my airy arse, lad. He has been after sand ships for about 8 years now.
Sand ships sound cool. Depending on how you do them, anyway.
Does that mean ASMR are going to be good dream related?
Some of the ASMR are of dream rather than celestial. Yes. Seriously, if you find someone that's a patron, borrow, just grab Pottermire. We should just throw it out there, Rob. I'm telling you, man, we need the world to see it. It's lovely. I'm dead proud of it. It's very nice.
I did enjoy reading the Pottermire stuff. It was very cool.
When we get to survive, it's going to be biblical.
Oh God.
While I'm doing this, I've actually changed some of my world already. How cool's that? Or some of the world. Rob, I'm changing some stuff, just so you know.
Psychedelic coloured ASMR. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
More for Rob to write. Yep, you're not wrong.
Like ASMR with like almost like opalescent stuff.
Yes.
Well, you know what we're doing.
That was cool.
Sorry, co-opted that a bit. Do it for the aesthetic.
Flinging ideas out.
Because this is kind of what happens though when you get basically 3 long-term cosplayers together and go, hey, we should... I know
Brainstorm.
a lot blind now, but still got the cosplayer in you. You know, you still have the lovely armor behind you, it's fine. Yup.
If only it had legs, I could put the leg plates on.
If only it had legs.
Rob, can we tell them about next year? I'll let you answer. I know there's a delay. It's just for Keen generating. I'm just saying it's just for Keen building. He's gonna say no.
No.
And art for the psychedelic SMR would be absolutely stunning. So if anyone wants to buy us art, we'll take it.
Yep.
We're already pumping our Patreon stuff into new covers for Arcane Script, and oh my god. So we've got Savai and our Bard coming. We won't tell you what the Bard is because it's a surprise. And another part of the world that we hadn't touched until we brainstormed Rob into death. And yeah, so we've got two new covers coming on their way. So I'm looking forward to that. One of them is an orc, and she is the beautiful. I can't wait. Cannot wait to share her with the world. Come on, Rob, you need to answer my question, mate. Otherwise, I'm just going to tell them anyway. You know what I mean? At most, you've got a 20-second delay.
You can tell them about
the issue
the
after
issue.
the survive thing. That's not what I'm asking, is it? That's not what I'm asking.
I think that's your answer.
Deflection, eh? So the one after survive, we're opening out to the underwater world of Colossus. And there is a race in D&D 5e called the Tritons, which are essentially, honest to God, not Aquaman. But there is so we've come up with a bard to represent our Triton culture. Rob's put a fair amount of work into the Tritons, to be fair. Months ago, as it happens. In fact, last year, Rob was writing the Triton stuff that we put a pin in until we got here. The Theocracy of Mahlubra. There you go. I know it's not, but I'll keep you talking until I think of a way to word the next thing. Brilliant.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, so the Triton stuff, underwater world, oh, it's really cool. As he's put, it's a theocracy type culture. Theological. It's good. I'm looking forward to that coming up. And a lot of that's based not off the coast of Surut. So you get Potamaya, which is on the eastern side, and then you get the Kajai, which are like desert pirates, and they live on islands that are all, imagine Neverland, but lots of them, all joined together by huge rope bridges, like the Golden Bridge type size bridges, you know, San Francisco's bridge. They're massive, and then you've got lots of these Neverlands, and all that sort of power of adventure to give you the ability to do things while you're bouncing around and stuff, like fairy dust, like think of Happy Thoughts. But you could kind of zone in on the magic of that area, and it'll give you a little lift now and then. And then we can bring more of our fae into that, so you'll get more water fae and sand fae that kind of meet. And then you've got the Tritons that do a big trading agreement with them, because their world is obviously beneath the sea, but not far from them. So you get all that trade. So you get these great like elemental-esque submarines that can do big cargo freight and stuff. Oh yeah, we're busy. We do like to keep his imaginations going. I've just received a message from Rob on Facebook, essentially silencing me.
Shut up!
I am allowed to tell you, apparently. He's given me the permission to say that we will have an announcement shortly.
Question, is this the one that we already know?
It is possibly the one you already know, yes.
Marvellous.
But yes.
Depends on whether he's told Rob about
Rob doesn't know you know, but now he does.
That's why I wasn't saying anything.
Remain blessed.
So Rob says if we get 50 people in chat, I'm allowed to tell them.
50 people?
Yeah. Oh look, I'm just doing like, you know what I mean.
Hang on a minute.
Question for the players: do you think the dragon is real in your campaign? Who do you think controls it all? Does Luke think the dragon is real, or does Kess think the dragon is real? Kess, quite frankly, doesn't care. That seems like someone else's problem still. He's not quite sure why they're even helping out the amount that they are. But looks like that's what they're doing now. Luke, yeah, that dragon's a real dragon. Not 100%.
Mel agrees, but then
100%.
Ari just thinks it's a code name for because he knows enough nasty rogues that it's just a code name. It's fine.
Yeah. I think we're all pretty much of similar mindset when it was like it's a dragon. I'm pretty sure all of us internally went, fuck. and then Adie's just like, you all know in character there are no such things
No
as dragons.
You're like, double.
Which is another
Definitely a
thing.
dragon.
Is another thing about the world of people. Like I've had this thing with Rob. Is if dragons were so around everywhere, there's nothing on the planet that'd stop them. Like you got 12 ancient dragons in your world. Your world is getting eaten by 12 dragons.
Yeah.
So I wanted to back in the day when I was a wee lad, younger, not smaller. I didn't want dragons to be so obvious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They definitely existed. Whether they still do or not is down to you lot to find out. But yeah, I'm glad Rob has the reins on AD. He will go on for years about the clans. Coming from James, who has worked with me in a similar capacity of trying to keep quiet. Why? How powerful are ancient dragons? As powerful as your ancient dragons in World of Warcraft, mate. So they're not the proto dragons, they're the next ones down. They are the be-all, end-all of dragons. They're the first of the red, the blue, the green, the black, etc. Oh, Rob, can I tell them about our dragons? Can I tell them about our dragons? Go on, Rob. Go on, Rob.
Come on, Rob, tell me. Come on.
I did also just realise that Dwarf Warrior is still here, and I was pretty sure he was supposed to be raiding.
He said right at the beginning that the raid was off.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. Yes, all the dragon stuff. Dragons are extinct. Done.
Cool.
Thanos level with 4 stones at Dwarf Warrior. You say that some dragons can change time. So yeah.
No.
No.
Did
not
I?
want.
I've got good history with dragons, no.
It's alright, Xandria will just shout it to death.
Or she'll try.
It would be funny. I mean, I don't think she's dumb enough to.
Talking about dragons denies you talking about other things like dragons. The lesser of evils.
Only 10 minutes to write out the bullet points.
So you only get to see them bullet points if you 50 subs Dwarf Warrior. So not you personally.
I was gonna say, don't even.
If he drops them, I'll drop it. Yes, Jay, that's why my questions are calm and not like, why don't you murder everything? So our dragons are gemstone dragons. When I was a wee lad, I based all my dragon lore on gemstones. So it wasn't red, blue, green, white, black. It was ruby, sapphire, pearl, emerald, amethyst. I had a big thing for like chakras and crystals and stuff like that. Not doing it, I just like the lore around it. I ain't got the patience to be meditating, but I like the lore behind it. So I developed that, and then I got under the arcane master that is Roberto, and we spent an evening growing it into something amazing. So our dragons are gemstone, hence you seeing or hearing of the sapphire dragon.
Sapphire dragon.
I like that a lot better than red, blue.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What dragon is it? Blue.
Blue.
Well, I could
It just
killed it for me. Like when you hear
Yeah.
silver, platinum, gold, bronze, they're kind of like punchy. They're metal. Yeah.
And then
Brass.
it's like,
Yeah. What's
Red.
these dragons over here? It's just a red dragon. Yeah, but
Just a red
the
dragon.
law says they're like devastating. Nah, don't worry about it. It's red.
Well, also like dragon lore in general, like it's like they're magnificent and all the lore about like being able to praise a dragon, etc. And you think, well, okay,
maybe it
obviously-
shouldn't be named after a popular primary colour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just an idea.
It's
just call you a blue one. It's fine.
how they didn't have a yellow dragon, I don't know. Like they got all the others in there. Just
Possibly because it would
Not
be the least threatening sounding dragon.
Yeah, here's the yellow dragon.
to be fair. So yeah, so we've Rough Works. How are you doing? I don't know if you've just come on or you've been around for a while.
They've
So
been around,
Paul.
they were there a little bit earlier.
Paul Roughworks is fully aware what Rob's going through now, because Roughworks was my soundboard for many years. And Roughworks also has a character within the world of Colossus, who was from the lands of Surut. So that's cool.
Ooh.
You may or may not get to meet him.
I am intrigued.
My head and heart out to you, lad. I think that's aimed at you, Rob. Dwarf Warrior, I'd like to learn more about the lore on your dragons. Then subscribe to Patreon, my friend, because you don't subscribe enough on Twitch.
Hey, just Nightbot linked you as well. Look.
Check it, look at that.
There,
Boom.
ready.
It
Nightbot
knows.
knows what's up.
The dragon lore is, again, it's more racial than cult. Yeah, there's a lot more to the racial side of the lore regarding the gemstone dragons. But there is a strong dragonborn cultural presence in Colossus at the minute. Which to you, Dwarf Warrior, dragonborn is a bit like a giant-blooded. So you're very, like Hagrid's very big in Harry Potter because he's giant-blooded. The dragonborn are dragon-blooded, so they're not fully fledged dragons, but they're obviously of that heritage of dragons. So you can play them as a race. As you know, mate, you said you were going to play Dragonborn Sorcerer if you ever get to play D&D. So yeah, but as a gemstone flavour. So if you ever do play in our world, then I get to go through some cool stuff with you, and you will learn the lore without having to pay a penny. But I still want all your subs, so.
I did actually find out that there was a song dragon type in Wizards of the Coast.
No. You messed up last campaign with your songs.
And your dragons.
Your dragons.
You song dragon.
Do you know what? Like, I just found that looking for dragon stuff because of how the story was progressing over there, and I was just like, I'm gonna look up some stuff, and then found that, and I was like, I did not know that existed. And when I showed it to AJ was also like, did not know that existed.
I would just like to say thank you to the Patreon if you are watching. We don't announce their names, but if you are watching, thank you very much. If you're not watching, this is kind of pointless. But yes, we've just received another Patreon, kids, so thank you. If you're watching, thank you very
I wonder
much.
who it could be.
I will tell you, it's not now.
Oh. I am disappointed.
Harsh.
Well, that's because you've been talking about how good your world is, and people want to see more about your world, so they're going.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Hey!
Oh God, you've got
AD.
AD written in capitals.
What?
Oh, God.
I didn't sound more excited. Mate, I got 3 kids in bed, right? If I get excited, Becky will stab me because they will come down. You nerds, Monkfish 1976 on Xbox.
Apparently that
You
means
are,
you hit your first goal.
You are correct. That
I don't
Patreon
know
means
what
we
your
hit our
goal
first
was,
goal.
but my noodle arms.
Oh well,
are
I
happy
did.
for you.
I didn't know.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, there you go then. There you go.
Oh my God, what happens at the first goal?
I don't know. What was
I
the
don't
first
know. What
one?
happens at the first goal?
Cheers,
What happens,
Monkfish.
Rob?
Thanks for that. It's great language.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice. Feel like. Cool. I'll see
Oh yeah,
how that is.
cool story.
They have multiple accounts. We see how it is, sir. Goodbye.
Looks like the 12-year-olds entered the chat.
Yeah.
Nice.
We love it. We love when 12-year-olds enter the chat.
Well, no more attention for you. This is D&D.
This is
Yeah, there's a good chance they've gone.
nerd time.
Good chance.
Sorry. Nerds are here, it's fun.
You're in our world now. And
Cool.
Ah.
No, you're not. You've been banned. But yeah, you guys made a goal.
what was the goal?
What was
The
the goal?
first
Can you
goal,
tell us the
I
goal?
don't know.
Tell us
Is
the
he
goal.
allowed to tell us that?
So the first goal is we reached $100 on our Patreon, which is what we needed to buy some extra artwork for the magazine.
Yes.
Awesome.
So
That's
yes.
so cool.
So Rob, I can't get overly excited because there's 3 kids in
We
the house.
can. We
They
can.
can.
though.
They can scream their heads off. So yes.
That's so exciting. Awesome. So happy for you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey,
Excited doesn't mean loud.
And the party pops off.
How do I get rid of this now? Ah!
You cannot. It's there forever.
Ah, it's worrying me. that it's-
What did you miss, Rabbit? You missed some 12-year-olds coming into the chat and calling AD and Mel some names.
Also some names that Nightbot picked up, so that was cool. So I'm glad you didn't get to see them. I don't actually...
Nightbot, the true MVP.
MVP of every stream.
That's fine. I never pay attention to what 12-year-olds say anyway. It's fine. Rob says it means guaranteed cover art for the future issues as well as more art in the issue itself, so hopefully it'll look less like walls of text and be more aesthetically pleasing. Awesome.
Which is big
No,
and
the first goal is them reaching $100 on Patreon. So yeah.
Now that they're loaded, they can quit their jobs for good.
Yay! Let's hope
Retirement.
let's hope no one checks out the conversion rate to English pound. You know what I mean?
That is 8 of your great British pennies.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you.
So cancel my lucky subscription.
So cute.
Oh dear.
Beautiful.
Right, so. Oh, also, the Patreon went towards us paying for Incarnate that we're using to build our world and using that for hopefully our adventures on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So yeah, so quite literally, without you lot doing this, we
There was a network error.
Oh, I've just got as well.
yeah,
I think
I just refreshed and it came back.
Yeah, I just refreshed
Okay.
and came back.
Refreshing. Oh, there we go.
Refresh.
How
There you
bizarre.
go.
Yay!
Just kicking out all the people. It's fine.
Bizarre.
Let's say we're just trying to get ready. So yeah, as I was saying, this any funds we get from Twitch or the Patreon, we just pump it straight back in. As you can see, Incarnate, we're using it to build stuff, and the stream was so excited it died. And artwork for the magazine. So we've got the cover art, we've got some new cover art coming, and now we can get some art to go in the magazine alongside everything else. It's going to be amazing.
Cannot wait. I cannot wait until we have like more maps as well, so we get like an actual visual of where things are in the world. Because it's all well and good saying, "Ah, yes, this place is east of here," and you're like,
Really?
See, the trick is have a dumb character. Then your understanding of it
Oh, what happened there?
is your understanding of it.
Wait,
it's not
Dwarf
so
Warrior.
much.
Cheered
It's not
100
so
bit-
much the the character understanding it. It's more I want to understand.
See, I was given more maps of Ravenholm before the thing. So yeah, I've kind of seen some areas, so I guess like I gotta talk about it. It's not fair. Now I know how AD feels.
Right, so bits.
But yeah,
It's
the
gravy
maps
time.
are very good. Like very
Oh,
good.
why didn't
And I'm excited to see more maps.
This is a test. Bit alert. Wonderful.
I'm just confused as to why it didn't do the gravy time.
You have to set them individually for each thing. So for your subs, your
Oh
followers.
yes,
your
yeah, that's what I mean. I've done that, and I've set it for bits.
Have you set it individually for each type of bit? For 1 bit, 100 bits.
No.
You have to do it individually for each
Minimum bits. Minimum bits to alert 0.
bit. Yeah.
So it's
In the drop down on Streamlab, it should have like a tab for each bit, because you can change the little image.
yeah. So the minimum is 0. So anything above 0, it should do it. Anyway, I'll do some lovely troubleshooting at another point. But thank you now, Mr. Dwarf Warrior.
For sending more money. Now, if you could only send me World of Warcraft money, that would be super.
Yeah, I'll have some of that if you're throwing it around.
I was gonna say, watch him do it now. He'd be like, bye, I'm off. I'll play World of Warcraft.
Unfortunately, you cannot transfer money between servers.
Not that we've tried or anything like that.
We're
Yeah.
both in the wrong realm.
Not
There you
like
go.
you
See,
tried.
it's even said.
Saddest of times. I mean, you could just move your character, just saying.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you could just where it goes. Right, so.
Yeah.
What time are we on? 5 to 10. Jesus.
That's 10. Feel like I might need another hot drink and maybe some of those delicious looking cheese biscuits I made myself today.
Cheese biscuits.
Yeah. It was a little recipe that came in my taste gin box. A little card. And they are
Another Patreon, apparently, Rob says.
Oofed.
Woofed.
Nice.
More money in the pot. I am going to make another hot drink.
Ridiculous. Thank you very much. Yay!
Getting more excited now.
Now I can announce our other goals. Cool.
Jesus.
Ooh.
I'll let you do it, Rob.
Whilst Rob is announcing, away I go.
Oh, the other Patreon goals, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, I guessed he wasn't going to let me.
No more talking for you, Adrian.
No more talking. Not allowed.
It's been revoked.
Go on then, Rob.
Come on, Rob, hurry up. Come on.
We're waiting. Oh, she's got me all hype again.
Yes.
I know, like, considering we all love lore as well, like, this kind of thing is just like, oh yes, all the little things that we get to hear about. It's cool.
Quiet map monkey, you do the drawing.
Rob doesn't talk.
Wow. Mr. Sawdust.
We have a question though. What are you using to create the map?
It's called Incarnate. So, spelt like that. You can see in the chat. It is. You can actually, if you go to the incarnate.com, they have a free version, and you can have a mess about and do a couple of stuff, and you can get away with some pretty basic maps. And then obviously, if you buy the pro version, you can do more and more stuff, and it's the pro version we're using. And I had a lovely conversation with one of the chaps at Incarnate, and they are looking at our Patreon and our stuff to see what we what maps we put in, and we may or may not have them follow us. So
Nice.
that's also
That's
really
cool.
good. The next goal for the Patreon is that, when hit, we will begin adding a bunch of our homebrew stuff, classes, races, etc. onto D&D Beyond so that you can add it to your campaigns and don't have to bother with pen and paper and can still use your fancy online character sheets.
That makes me excited.
Incarnate is what I dreamed of as a kid while doodling maps and worlds with pen and paper. Angela, Lalula, Angie. It's amazing. It's absolutely badass. If you don't already use it, go to incarnate.com and you can mess about with the beta free version. It is brilliant. This effectively means that a lot of our homebrew player options will become more publicly available. I think this is more sold at the people in our games.
You never know, someone might come across it.
That is very true. You can already make a Furian Trollkin character using D&D Beyond as of right now. You can also, but you'd have to be in our personal campaign, you could play a Kelpie, I believe.
Celtic fear.
Yes, there's a couple of races we have made.
Oh, that's cool. I like it. I'm
Lots
probably
of
not
fun
reading it on
bits and
D&D Beyond
pieces.
right now. You can heal yourself. No.
Are you looking at the Trollkin?
Yeah, I am.
Right, so.
You know I'll happily playtest any characters you want.
I need a broken wall.
Badass.
So.
Too many exciting bits and pieces.
Too many. Advantage on. Oh my god, I like that. Your advantage on wisdom, on perception checks that rely on smell. That's really cool. That's why I like though. Like I like the little details of stuff that makes it really interesting. My phone just alerted me that the Twitch is live.
Wow.
Better late than never.
I mean, it's probably been on there for a little while, so it's well fine. Differences are. Yeah, referring back to an earlier question where have we all met in person or not? Luke and I have known each other for
Too long?
6 years, 7 years. I don't
No,
know at
it's
this point.
7 or
time.
8. 7 or 8.
Long time.
A minute.
A minute. We met when Luke was one of the participants in my cosplay masquerade that I was running. And came second. And then invited me to join an in-character thing that was like, I was like, what is this? And yeah, we
Dragging Mel into shenanigans since day one.
basically, yeah. Yeah, then we did lots of cosplay things and have done lots of cosplay things. Still doing lots of cosplay things. It's not so
You
much.
know, when cosplay things happen.
Yeah,
with conventions.
and then, you know, Jade, we also met Jade through the same hobby. A few times, a few Dragon Age cosplays here and there, you know. So again, we've known Jade for quite a few years as well. And then,
Me and
yeah.
you first met, Mel. I think I was doing Tony Stark's. I'm sure it was at
We
Newcastle. And you were in Tony and I was in Pepper, and that was the same weekend that Luke dragged me into their panel.
Yep.
Spoiler alert, we have all that far back.
That
as
was
well.
a curse. That was a cursed con.
It
Oh,
was a
don't
curse.
even. There's videos of me at home, on the Saturday night with, Zane and Jack, because they were staying at my house, and I think I was just so delirious because it was such a long day and I was so tired and hungry. I'm sat on the floor with a grey blanket over my head, and there's just a video from Zane, and it's just me going, I'm Eric Lenshaw, or I might be Candace Grey. Who knows?
That's
And
like
it
the
just-
way most of our cons have ended up, to be fair. We have
Yeah.
far too much video evidence of us on our cosplay channel doing really stupid things.
Mostly lack of sleep fueled.
Less of the language, Rob. That's right. If you can tell me off, I can tell you off.
Oh, Gracie's saying oddly, Rob and them met through cosplay. It's how all the cool kids meet. Gracie said that was cool. Y'all witnessed it. She had her fingers crossed. Oh, no, it's weird. Like how much. Well, I say it's weird. The cosplay world's very small. The con world's very small. Everyone ends up meeting each other anyway, and then everyone kind of ends up meeting each other through LARP as well, as we found out. It's all very interconnected. The amount of times that we were at Flamel, which is was our first LARP in December, and we were like, I know you, and I know you from, because I'm very good with faces and terrible with names, but I was like, I know you from years ago. And I was like, Sean, I know you from like a certain con that we're at. I was just like, oh my god. You suddenly realise you're like, oh my god.
I am blind as a bat and just terrible with names, so I I can't see anybody. I don't remember nothing. So that's why I have a Mel.
She does the thinking for you.
I am known as the social person.
She is my extrovert friend.
So it's quite funny when obviously we obviously have in the last year or so, or the last 6 months or so, started a business together, Luke and I.
What a great time to start a business, right, guys?
Recent events.
What's the business called?
It's called Bardic
Inspiration.
You can find us at www.bardicinspiration.co.uk. Look at us, we even have our own domain. We sell dice and stuff. And stuff. And other
Bags
fantasy
and candles
themes.
and stuff.
We have a candle called Hot Paladin.
It smells like a hot paladin.
It just smells like a hot paladin. What more can I do to sell it to you? It's pretty good.
But yeah, we started a business because we realised that I can kind of do the sewing thing, and you can kind of do the casting thing, and it was like, this makes sense. We got into D&D, and D&D is fun, and this is cool, and it basically means we can take our stall to cons and talk to people about D&D all day. It's brilliant.
Seems okay. And we both hate our day jobs, so that helps.
Jesus.
So yeah, we have a cheeky little money off. I'm just going to go full plug. I've given up now.
Go for it.
We have a cheeky little money off code going on at the moment. That is NAT20 shipping, all uppercase. If you spend £25 or more on the website buying dice and other shinies, then you get free shipping. We are still shipping out daily from the UK. So you can get the shiny Click Clack number rocks, of which we have just restocked many new styles.
Some lavender ones that are really pretty that Ari really wants. Like I
Fill your
can't have
boots.
because all the stuff's up loose.
Thank you for putting it in the chat.
Yay.
So yeah.
Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the lavender ones. They are pretty. They are very pretty. But yeah, it's something that we obviously kind of started together because we've been friends for so long. We had an idea and we were like, why not? But yeah, it's great being at cons and talking to people about it. I love it. I'm such an extrovert. I'm like, talk to me about all your D&D.
We do like being geeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
So you're looking forward to campaign 2?
So much. So much. I'm sorry. I just randomly will, out of nowhere during the week, just get really, really hyped for the next session. I'll just be sitting there making my cup of tea, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens with that tiny plot thread. Like,
Me and Jade and I might have had bets on when our characters would fight because we knew that they would.
the answer is constantly, in case anyone was wondering.
I mean, I've not tried to kill Ari yet, so you know, it's a plus, right?
Yeah.
At least you said yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not yet. It's because you had the purple worms killed first.
Yeah, damn purple worms getting in my way.
It's okay, purple worms blocked his view, it's fine.
What was your first D&D character? Look.
It was a bard, because I used to only play bards back in uni.
Okay.
But it was probably an elf, because I'm nothing if not predictable. If there's elves, I've probably played them. But I was really into D&D for a bit in uni and played a lot, and then got out of it just because the local group wasn't that great. So I kind of got distance from the hobby and then came back into it again. And now I Just I play too much D&D.
No
But
such thing.
definitely a bard, probably an elf. Next victim.
Jade.
What was it? The first one or your best one?
First.
First. Oh, okay.
So go on, Jade. While you eat.
I was gonna say she's eating.
Go on, Mel.
Do you
We'll
want
go
me
on,
to
Mel. We'll go on,
answer?
Mel.
Rude. My first one was just over a year ago, because I'm still new to this. And it was a human cleric that I played with Kelly and Rob. And Luke. Yeah, she was a human Tempest cleric.
That was 2 years ago now, Mel.
It wasn't, it was last year.
No, it wasn't.
Facebook told me it was last year.
It wasn't, because I was still in Edinburgh. It's been 2 years.
Oh my
You
god.
told.
You a geek.
Okay. God, such a new geek. No, I'm not. I'm not new to D&D. Apparently, I've been playing it 2 years. It's fine. I don't remember. But yeah, she was a human Tempest cleric. She was very racist against half-orcs because she'd been wronged by a half-orc.
Which automatically means racism.
Yep. And she was scared of water, which was really fun.
What about you,
I
Jade?
like.
Scared of water's pretty cool.
My
Hang on. Sorry. You're a Tempest cleric. So the cleric
Yep.
of thunderstorms and rain.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. All right, carry on, Jade.
You did she stutter?
my first D&D character was a Aasimar paladin that had the Oathbreaker background. Funnily enough, you have played with her. She was in the Christmas campaign. It's Amel, not Mel. Amel.
So confusing the whole session. I was just like, what?
I did enjoy the Christmas one shot.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, I wanted to play a paladin, and then I was like, I don't want to be a normal goody two-shoes paladin, so the Oathbreaker variation was available when I made it, so I was like, yes, this is what I'm gonna do. So I made that, and she was the granddaughter of the god Bane.
Ooh.
So she basically, her oath was that she was supposed to carry out a sort of prophecy that Bane had said, like she needed to started this massive, colossal event that was supposed to destroy the world. And basically, she kind of went, nah, I don't really fancy ending the world, so instead, I'm gonna take a vacay for a few millennia. And I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna drink and eat and fight and have a merry old time. And basically not do what she was destined to do. And just about every session that I had, my DM would come visit her in her dreams as Bane and just be like, granddaughter, you must do this now, otherwise something else worse is going to happen. Why would I care? Just get on with it. And I think the main backstory to the whole reason she didn't actually want to start the war is because the war that she had to start was between two factions or two nations, and she didn't want to start it because she had a secret love with the prince of one of the nations, and so didn't want to end the world, but didn't want to like put him in danger either, so she kind of just went and left. So she was an Oathbreaker baddie, but was she really a baddie?
That's pretty cool.
Good times.
Mel? Oh, we did Mel, didn't we? You did the cleric.
Good Mel.
Tempest cleric.
That was scared of water. Yeah.
Who was scared of water?
Deep pools of water, might I add. Not
Not puddle.
not puddle.
Not like
rain.
cups of water or rain.
It's raining.
Throw a bucket of water on it. Oh no!
I do miss Sorcerer though. I do miss Sorcerer.
I miss it for like I literally was like I actually miss playing a cleric, which is why I've got a cleric and Luke still DM stuff, that because I kind of miss playing pirate because they're really good for like being offensive and defensive,
Yeah.
like really good. So I kind of miss that, but what can you do?
Yeah, I like clerics. They are wonderfully devastating at going forwards and coming backwards.
Yep.
Exhibit A, Prosper.
True that. I'm
Or is-
scrolling through these little images and I've completely forgotten what I'm looking for.
There was a question in the chat. What is the Dirty Great Big Wall in the south?
Random wall in the south of the map.
I
Don't know because I didn't see the map.
So, you mean, can you see that? You're on about this bit here. So, let me go to it. On the left, I don't know if you see, that's the right even. Wow, this has started well. So this is the land of Savai, where all the orcs live. This bit here is Viconia, where all the not orcs live. They don't like each other. This lake here, to give you a scale, is about 1,200 miles across. So it's a big ass place. But this massive lake here is a lake of Glycia, and it's a religious place that the Savai orcs and the Viconian other constantly fight over. They won't fight on the lake or on the edges of the lake, and they've agreed that you can pilgrimage to the dragon statue at the centre of the lake. But too long ago, they built a wall, and they essentially said, bugger off. This is not for you. You stay on that side, we stay on this side. Up in the north, where this green city is, that is the city of Doham, which is where the earth elemental fae live. Some people call them the Daoween. And so they kind of hold that bit. There's a wall down here, and that separates them by the lake. Answer your question? Moving on.
It's the do not pass wall.
Yeah.
Don't come past me. Dwarf Warrior is saying my first and only D&D character is Dragon Ball Sorcerer. I want to play a game where it's just using what they have is my end character generator. What the F is my D&D character generator. See, okay. I'm saying my first D&D character was an Earth Genasi druid who had turned into a stone bear.
Stone Bear's pretty cool.
Oh no, I miss Ripple from our first
Oh, I miss Disney Princess Ripple.
He was so good. He was a water genasi druid that Rob played.
Why have all of, like, so many of our campaigns have bears in them?
I know.
Screamer,
Some
baby.
bears.
Screamer.
Screamer!
Was an absolute legend.
What was the name of the bear in Kelly's?
Big Steve!
Big Steve. We had
Big
Big Steve. And then we had Screamer.
Because Liam named Big Steve because he pulled him out of the hat.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well this is, but we'll have a little tour around the place. I don't know if you can see. Try and do it slowly in the middle so you guys can see. These are the Pride Mountains at the south, where you get to see the mountain shepherds, which are giants that herd the mountains and make sure they stay there. There's the wall that you, there you go there. These little dotted lines, they're paths, Dave. They're just paths now. You know what I mean? Up here. So, the knightly orcs of Savai have this area around here. And then as it gets up to here, you have more orcs that are less knightly, but still hang on their fingers. Wonderful.
So like the
wonderful.
two that we've met. Okay, so this is giving me context now. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
And there's a hidden dragon in that ice cap.
That is a temple to do with dragons.
No, what you'll find that actually is one of those statues from Spyro.
yeah. This is the city of the Doham, the Earth elemental fae. This is the dwarven fortress of Clan of the Norbeards, dwarves that don't really grow beards other than a bit of stubble. Yeah, these are other places.
Oh
The
no,
thing
I like
about
this
the
link.
mountains moving has like put a layer of like just dread in my soul that like I don't know where this came from, but like the unease that it has brought upon me is like I can like feel it. I'm just like, oh, I don't like
The north, Dave. To answer your question, if this was a atlas, it would be the north. In fact, whilst you talk to the lovely people,
talking to the lovely
Just so you
people.
know, Rob, I'm saving that as well. You know when I get really stuck for characters? I think I'm have to use the link.
Dude, there is nothing under that bin for you to play with.
He said yes, there is.
I'm trying to remember, there was a really cute yet oddly ominous kids cartoon on Netflix, as of course there is, that had like really big giants and mountains. Is it Helga? Olga? Helga? Hilda!
There we go.
That maybe 80's got kids he might have seen, but I don't think the other two of you watch cartoons like I do.
I haven't seen it.
I would heartily recommend it. Your kids are probably a good age for it as well. Though I watched it like a couple of months ago. It's really chill. It's got it's got a kind of Scandinavian kind of energy to it. And it is about a little girl and her mum who live in this kind of valley, and there's elves and giants and all sorts of beasties and bogles around, and how she interacts with them. And goes on adventures with them and friends, and how she moves to the city and stuff. It's really just calming to watch, but it's got some really like nice messages for kids as well. And the art style is choice.
Helga, I might have to go look at that.
I think it's Hilda, Hilde.
Hilda.
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 It's got a lot of British. It's got a lot of non-American voice actors, which I appreciate. So there's different kind of accents and stuff as well, which is really nice. But no, would heartily recommend. It's really short, but the music's nice and the show's heartwarming.
Oh.
That's been your drop for the day.
Alright, fair.
So I've got a very purry cat under my monitor who's sticking paws out, just being like.
Did you all see the atlas when I put it up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. There you go. That should answer Dave and Niall's inquiries. Look, on the fly streaming. This is what the world's about. You know what I mean? It does help when you've got a distraction of 3 people, so that's good.
Okay, so if you could have any mythical creature as a pet, what would it be and why?
Now, where are you getting all these questions from, man? You get off that bloody blind date generator. Mythical creature as a pet, what would it be and why? Oh, Jesus.
This just brings me back to Harry Potter.
Brings you back to Harry Potter panels.
my brain automatically.
My brain went to dragon.
No, what would I have? I don't know. So many magical creatures are
What about a puffskein?
dangerous, yo. So many are dangerous. Also, my phone just died, so I can't take the questions anymore. That's I've just lost connection to Twitch. I don't know.
I know his answers already from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I know. That's
I don't know. So many magical creatures that I really enjoy are like, not pet material.
But if you could have it as a pet, what would you have? Let's assume that you could get over the dangerous ripping your face off bit.
I don't know. There's so many options, Eddie. Not prepared.
To be fair, I think I would actually have a Niffler because they're really cool.
You'd have a what? A unicorn?
A Niffler.
Niffler.
Oh,
That
Niffler.
doesn't
Harry
even
Potter.
sound like unicorn.
I know, I was like, maybe I want a unicorn.
What a unicorn.
Nifflers are pretty cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Jade?
It's a toss-up between a griffin and a hippogriff.
Oh, griffins are cool.
I do like griffins, but I also like hippogriffs. They're both very mixed species.
I
It would definitely
probably
be a flying thing. Sorry.
definitely flying thing. I think I would like kind of like the Fey familiar that you get from like the Find Familiar spell, because you kind of have a bit more of a bond with that, and it can change. So when I'm feeling indecisive as to whether it's like it could be a cat friend for my cat, or it could be something else if it needed to be. So I think that's my cop-out answer.
Good cop out.
Cerberus.
Yep, that's me.
Dudley.
Three-headed
Yeah,
wolf
so-
dog. I mean, that's me, Cerberus. I want a tame mimic. Well, good luck.
Good luck.
Speaking of tamed mimics, there is technically a semi-tamed mimic in a LARP game called Mistwood. It's
Ooh.
called Fluffy. The game organizers made the actual suit. It is an actual mimic chest that Heather has to climb into in a black one-piece, what do you call it, morph suit. And the first time they brought it out, I think was the very first event 5 years ago now, and she got in it and then she toddled off in the woods at Huntley Wood, and she sat in the dark waiting for the players to come by. The players came by, investigated it, and a mimic, and then they kind of kept it as a pet, and they still have it to this day. And so when something bad comes along, they throw Fluffy at it and let Fluffy eat them.
Valid.
Players
Okay.
not.
Amazing.
Your Selene will always find a way.
Gracie
I would've-
saying Grindylow. Yeah.
Grindylow.
I think our Harry Potter answers influenced them.
See, just so many like magical creatures just give me like Celtic fear, and I can't get over that. Like, some of you weren't raised on fairy tales. And it
Willow
shows.
the Wisp.
Oh, Willow the Wisp.
I mean, I knew it was a bad idea for the will.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Niles is the dragon. He's a big dragon fan, listen.
Well, 217 demon books that act like puppies if anyone's been watching the Ox Ventures. See, my fellow's been watching the Ox Ventures. I am too invested into certain other D&D podcasts that I can't invest the time into another one.
Yeah,
They are good though. I enjoy like the little bits and pieces that I see of them from when the fellow's watching them. So. Hello, hang on, are you getting offended by the fact that I said another mythical creature apart from you?
Alfie isn't impressed.
Alfie's not impressed. Hey, cat.
I rewatched Children of Dune yesterday, just because, again, desert vibes, and it's got siblings in it. What do you know? One of them kind of becomes a weird little prodigy thing. So
Yes.
watch what you're calling a weird little prodigy thing.
it's the fact that he spends most of the second episode of the mini series, just constantly looking at his hand and going, "My skin is not my own." Like every scene that he's in, his skin is not my own. You get it.
Dave saying Johnny is such a patient DM. Hell yes, yes.
Yeah.
They go off on some interesting adventures. I'm just like, valid.
For D&D podcasts, I really enjoy Dungeons and Daddies. It's such a bizarre concept, and they do it so well because I think when they started it, none of them had played D&D, knew much about D&D. So when they were playing it, their choices were just them going, "Can I do this?" and then their GM going, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And it just led to some really hilarious moments. Then they've got better at it, obviously, as the episodes have gone along, but they've still retained that same mindset of the newbie. Well, we could probably do this, I'm sure. Like, they haven't played it so long that they know, oh, well, that isn't going to work. They're just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Like, I think it's bad to kind of lose that too much because sometimes when you play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, like if you play a lot of games, you start to like accidentally, like subconsciously learn just how some patterns go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think especially if you DM at all, you can sometimes run the risk of going, oh, and working stuff out before your character does.
When
Which
you guess
I have
that you've done that to all the DM.
I have, and I always feel so bad because I usually have like then done something that's meant that I've like taken an extra step that probably my character wouldn't have got yet. So I think sometimes you've got to kind of be the character that doesn't understand the situation to like really explore the space, even if maybe do you know it or do they know it kind of idea.
I definitely learned that with Connie because again she was the same kind of intelligence level of just being fascination intelligence, not the best intelligence, and always my rolls are always terrible as well with that. I missed that one in the desert. Love her so much. But yeah, basically it was always like no, I need to basically, a lot of the times I'd be like, can I roll to see if Connie knows this or not? Because, like, I know this, my character doesn't.
Yeah.
And I feel like that distinction sometimes is kind of important. But no, I mean, I I got into D&D and got to sort of know it as a game through Adventure Zone, which again, they were teaching their dad from scratch how to play. And it kind of taught me at the same time, even though like it's all obviously comedians doing their thing, and they're very good at what they do. But it was very much like in little sort of hour-long episodes. It wasn't too hard to get into. But they really told the story with it, and they really sort of showed how you play a thing, and then obviously going to again, from people, because we've done loads of Adventure Zone stuff, cosplays and all sorts of stuff with them. People, our friends have sort of said, oh, if you play a critical role, that's another one you might want to try. And we were like, no, but we'll give it a go. And then we tried campaign 2, and I just remember both of us just being like, yes, when Sam just goes, I'm a little goblin girl.
I sent you the sound clip of I'm a little goblin girl, and that was it. The rest was history. 17 cosplays later.
That is actually one thing I really want us to do when this lockdown is all over. I just want us to have a cosplay meet in our Critical Role cosplayers because it hasn't happened, and I just want those photos. It's so bad.
I'll play a pipe.
Hey, Grog. But yeah, I mean, like 100%. Like we have to institutional, unfortunately. Unfortunately or fortunately, the case may be. But yeah, it's such a nice fandom as well. Like I enjoy the fandom most of the time.
if I put a donation in, he has to reveal yes. I think if you keep donating, then I can't stop him. Fine, I'll stop then. I don't understand that conversation. If you put a donation in, I'll reveal, and Rob's saying, if you donate, he can't stop me. So it's your call now. If you want to know, put my kids through college. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like at this point Niall's going to end up homeless just funding.
just learning dragon law.
Oh, Gracie's saying on the whole cosplay thing, Luke, I love your Cecil.
I have actually never done Cecil.
Actually, I was gonna say you're not. Yeah.
In fact, no, that's a lie. I have for one video I did Cecil, but I'm actually the Kevin cosplayer, so I'm the one in the orange. That was my happy little idiot from back in the day. But I am glad that you enjoy.
Again, Night Vale. We all did Night Vale stuff at the same time as well.
That was a minute ago.
Night Vale. I'm still.
Yeah.
The wig is in the loft for Dana. I pulled it out last week when I was looking for stuff to wear for the stream, and I pulled it out and I was just like, I will probably never wear you again, but I'll keep you anyway.
Oh yeah, you gotta hoard those.
You gotta hold those wigs. It's probably one of the only wigs that I survived this long.
No. What do you mean you gotta hoard wigs? No.
I do love when we did Night Vale, because I did it with my friend Emma, and she did the old woman that secretly lives in your house. So I've got pictures of her sat in the kitchen at Alcon, just being like there.
Oh.
It was a fun fandom.
Mm.
It was a fun fandom. If you are a fan of Lovecraftian eldritch abominations and good queer representation, then it's a bop.
Don't fall asleep listening to it though.
No,
Yeah, you will
it's
have
trippy.
weird dreams.
But I figured calling it a Lovecraftian, like, probably suggested.
I like how we basically did a panel with it, and it was just like, no, we're just going to create an OC, and then people somehow thought my OC was part of this thing. Yeah.
It is a thing which is so off the wall that everybody just kind of rolls with it, which is good.
Oh, playing a creepypasta was fun though.
Villains are always the most fun.
It was very fun. Intimidating and villainous, it's great. I haven't done that in a while.
I'm still trying to troll through Facebook to see if I can find the pictures of the very last Dragon Age photo shoot we did at 2017, and I cannot find any of them.
There weren't any. There weren't. I think it was like one maybe that came out.
I could have sworn we took a big group photo.
We did take.
Yeah, but no one ever saw it.
Oh.
And I don't know who took it.
Are
there any questions relating to the D&D stream you're supposed to be doing? Because I don't have I can't see Twitch anymore, so I can't keep this on.
There is no questions relating.
So
Gracie is saying would be good if I typed the right name, so they did actually know that you were Kevin.
No, don't worry.
They just made it.
It was because we had a few different people do Cecil. It was not uncommon for people to say they had liked my Cecil and having to be like, wasn't actually me, but thank you, I guess. So hence just taking it and be like, yeah, sure, I'll take that credit.
I was just checking to see if there was any questions that we'd missed, but yeah.
Lots of Nightville talk.
Lots of Nightville
Lots of
talk.
it.
We have saturated this chat with things that are not D&D related. Well,
You could. I was trying to think of how you would make Night Vale because like it's pretty high fantasy.
yeah.
There's a 5-headed dragon that runs for mayor, for goodness sake. Like,
Being
Yeah.
totally honest, how much are you enjoying the world of Colossus?
Love it.
absolutely obsessed with it. Absolutely obsessed with it.
Good evening, Code Red Creates.
Evening.
She's a good one.
Evening.
We like Code Red.
Um,
Alright, how's it going? Hannah?
I think the level of how much we're enjoying it goes by the fact that there are random bouts of sheer keen during the week
Yeah.
to play the game, and the fact that some of us have raw stuff to go into the world
Some of you
and
have.
painted maps. It's like, this would be really cool. Ba-ding. So I think we've all gotten pretty invested into Colossus and really want to see it flourish into
Yeah.
something as big as, you know, the Wizards of the Coasts sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so detailed, and like it really shows that like AD's been building it for AD and Rob have been building it for so many years as well. And it's just so involved with the little details of stuff. And the little details is what I love about both cosplay and D&D. I love little details of stuff, and so when you throw lots of little details at me, I'm like, yes, give me more.
More.
Rob has definitely been the missing link for this to all come to be.
Yeah.
So I am very, very lucky to have found my true love. But yeah.
Better
so,
watch out, Kelly.
I
It is on the prowl.
I think me and Rob had the conversation the other day with one of our coming sponsors, so watch out. And we basically said, or I said and Rob agreed because I'm bigger than him, was when me and him get married, Kelly and our lass will give us away.
I'm okay with this sounds like a dream come true. Please tell me that we're invited to the wedding.
It'll be getting Rob there that with the hard bit.
I would like to perform the ceremony with a hashtag remain blessed.
Oh, Dave saying, just thought I'd let you all know there's genuine sadness that tonight's stream wasn't happening, and I think I speak for many of us watching. We're invested in your characters in the world as well as viewers.
Aww.
That's cheers, Dave. Mate. Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Yeah.
It is windy in
Rude
all of
giving
our
us
rooms.
feeling.
Onion ninjas. McNulty, oh look at you diving in with a cheeky question. If you were all D&D characters in real life, thank you Niall as well, by the way, for saying well said. If you were all D&D characters in real life, what do you think you would be? I'd go with D&D class rather than character.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go with character. Hi, Connie.
I mean, yeah, there's very few steps of difference between.
If
You get me on a
combine-
bad day when I'm at work and I'm annoyed
If
with
you could-
people. I
If
wanna
you
hit
could pick
everyone
a
with a
class to
greatsword.
live, what would
If-
it be? Sorry to twist your question, McNulty.
Probably a bard. Cause I am full of hot air.
You enjoy your stage.
I enjoy, for someone who is horrifically introverted, I do run my mouth a lot.
I think I'd be the same. I'd be a bard. I am far too much of a performer. Put me on a stage, watch me go. You have to get one of those little hooks to get me.
Have you all answered? No.
Mel's got big cleric energy. She big team mom.
Yeah,
Big team mom energy.
Yeah, a little bit.
biggest mum.
But yeah, Connie is kind of. Oh, I didn't realize until
Connie just is you though.
No.
Probably a bardic barbarian.
Mm.
I'd have to multi-class just for the power levels. Well, yeah, I do.
It wouldn't be 80 if there wasn't some min-maxing in there.
Oh god.
Yeah. Bouquet.
Okay.
I miss that.
I watched somebody on TikTok who they do a series called Ridiculous Things Found in the Player's Handbook That Just Don't Make Sense. And they were explaining about a thing that you can do, which essentially, in my opinion, is just min-maxing. And it was, you took so many levels of Ranger, I think it was, and then so many levels of something else, and then so many levels of something else. And the way this combo worked, that they explained, I was just like, that is unbelievably insane. And they were saying it's like 100, like, hit points of damage without even having to roll any dice. I was just like, what?
But is it fun to play?
I can't remember because I can't remember what the bloody hell the whole thing was.
Like I say, the story started well, Jade, and then you were.
And then, to be fair, this is late night TikTok.
All right.
Let's see if I can find it.
Code Red saying they follow them too.
See, I'm not the only one.
See, I'm not interested in min-maxing. It doesn't interest me.
Unless you mean min-maxing in that being very good at very specific things and incredibly bad at others. It's why I quite like rolling stats, because you can have like an incredibly incredibly dexterous character who has like 5 strength. Like you're sitting there rolling with like a -3 to like one check, but like a +4 to another, and it's just like having that kind of min-max is really interesting. Just like power gaming it though is like just playing your own. Go like play Halo or something like.
Yeah.
You're not trying to win D&D. That's not. If you're trying to, you've missed the point of the game.
I saw something interesting yesterday on social media, which was saying about how DMs play with like nat ones when people roll nat ones in combat, and I'm like, if you don't have a consequence when you roll a nat 1, you can't really justify rolling nat 20s. In my opinion, I'm like, you can't really justify doubling the damage if something bad doesn't happen when a nat 1 happens. I'm like, I think it depends on your DM, obviously, but I think you just need a better DM. It just confused me. It was like people were like, "Oh no, I don't like effects when nat 1 happens." I'm like, why? It makes it more interesting.
Like, I think having a miss is good. I think sometimes people can go too far the other way, and it's like because I remember playing in uni with a person who basically ran nat 1s being the opposite of a nat 20. So it was a critical hit to an ally.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
That's
so
weird.
it went and this is why I stopped playing for a while. Like it went from that you did really well to you could possibly have done more badly, basically, on the complete flip side of it. And it just it almost made it you were too scared to attack something if there was someone like in within 10 foot in the off chance that you rolled a 1, and because like if it was something that could have gone away, it was like the closest person is getting it, and you're probably gonna like end up taking out a member of your party, especially at lower levels.
Yeah, because like I agree with like if you're rolling that one and then your ally is close by and your ally gets hit, but just like a normal hit.
Yeah, don't.
You still have to roll to hit that person, but you roll for that one. It's like something's gonna happen.
Sort of I've missed a couple of things. Power gaming as a game in itself, I don't understand it. Yes and no. So I power gamed Bucky on. It felt right for his path to do so, and I wrote a background and it all fit like that.
Oh, yeah.
But you can just play 2 power game, which you're right in that sense. It is a game on its own. Watching you create this map has me thinking I might do my own for my book. I feel if I could visualise my world seeing it, I think I could write the book better. For me, I do it the other way around now. I write, then visualise. But what Roughworks did, the social distancing of dice strategy, what Roughworks did is he painted a 15 A4 pages painting of a part of my world, because he was one of my test readers, and so he could visualise it. He drew the map, and then I had a 15 pieces of A4 map on my living room wall for 2 years. So you're probably right for you. Some people, if you have the map first, you can visualise your entire world. You can go visit those places in your story, and it's easy to connect the dots. And other people don't really know what their map looks like, so they write the story and build the map as they go. There you go. Sword of Swear Words, that's why Heavyweight is the best DM. I'll take that. Styles, mate. It's different styles. Oh shit, that sounds awful. That's I think that was Code Red's listening to the Nat 1 Death Machines. Dwarf Warrior, that's a good shout from Rob. Rob likes his maps. I would have ended up killing so many of my party if I'd been in that game. Yes, yes you would, Hannah. Sword of Swear Words, that dwarf. Have a look at Hero Forge as well. It's good for making characters. Yeah, you can go look at characters. Some people get their minis, have a look at them, and they can. You see, sometimes it's easier to describe what you can see.
Somewhere in Mel's bag, there's a mini.
Mini. There's a mini of Connie, but she's not painted because I'm too scared to paint her.
That's my fear too. You don't want to mess it up, just leave it. That combo thing, she describes it as do you want to kick some ass but you don't want to touch the ass. So it's 12 levels of fighter, 4 levels of sorcerer, and 4 levels of warlock.
4 levels of what?
Sorcerer, and then 4 levels of warlock.
So it's just a level 8 character?
No.
What's
12 levels of fighter,
12
4 levels of sorcerer, 4
Is this
levels...
the death class thing that you heard of, or I missed something? Was this the one you wrote about earlier, or you wrote about something else?
Yeah, this is the things in the player's handbook that just don't make sense.
Ah, yeah.
And with a certain, I think it's
Gloomstalker, yeah. It's horrible.
You take a bow.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Just so you know, our level 20 one shot we did for Christmas, I was a level 20 Gloomstalker Ranger. And that's how I one-shotted Mrs. Claus. So
yeah, basically she's saying that with a bunch of different things, and she goes through them. You can do about 100 damage without even having to roll your actual dice, because even on all your lowest numbers it would be 100.
It's I love it. But again, at that point, if you've gone all out that's a journey. That. So a lot of people,
that's an absolute journey.
A lot of people, when you see these massively powerful builds, are level 20 builds, which is, anyone can grab a bunch of stats and ram them together. But to actually journey from 1 to 20, if you got all the way to 20, did all the little weird and wonderful story arcs to give yourself all these multiple classes, I'd let you shoot anything you wanted. Well played, well played.
It's alright, Xandria's gonna go from 0 to 20, even though we didn't start on 0, but 0 to 20 just with daggers and a bow.
Hannah, the Code Red, the artwork is stunning, and as linked by seriously Mel, Lily Tuft is incredible. Like, you're going to spend the next half hour to an hour on her Twitter looking at her pictures. Just stunning. There's a lot of cleric. Yeah, we've done a few assets. All right. They're watching the channel, Rob. You don't have to keep plugging us. But but we have done our own homebrew domains. The Coven domain is actually a genius domain by all Rob, completely 100% Rob.
I
So good.
started maybe playing with the ideas of
Yes.
because I've got
He's
the
actually mentioned you. He's literally put, which I hope you've checked out by now, Luke.
maybe.
What domains would you like to see in the future? Those on the stream and in chat alike. What, just clerical domains? Go on, Luke, Jade.
I
Mel.
always like new rogue stuff. I love a high dex build, which you wouldn't believe having seen me play Prosper. But I love high dex builds. But I don't want to say I hate Arcane Trickster, but those words fit.
Strong dislike.
I do not enjoy Arcane Trickster, but I like other facets of like rogue subclasses. So I would be really interested in like some other sort of rogue subclasses. I know it's not technically a domain, but like if you're meaning kind of like domain / subclass, I would be really up for having a nosy at those if you want me to make any.
I was very interested in the barbarian stuff because I've never really played a butler. I've partly put the level of barbarian in Connie in an alternative campaign. I've never really played like a barbarian, and like the subclasses that you kind of brought out for barbarian are quite interesting. So I'm like, might have to play one of those that you've already got existing.
I think I would probably like to see more paladin stuff, even though I'm not playing a paladin. But I like a good paladin set of stuff. And most paladin, like, they're all very much the same goody two shoes, the same flavour of smacky things with light.
I mean, I think like we both have gone down the same route with our paladins, i.e. either Oathbreaker paladin or Oath of Vengeance paladin.
Yeah.
Which is definitely more of a neutral kind of method rather than your traditional good paladin.
Yeah.
There's more stuff in the thing. Rob is saying, I meant just cleric domains, yeah, but I'll send you something, Luke.
Well,
Thank you, Rob.
Rob say, Sawdust is saying, Rob can't see, Luke can't see the chat, so I hope someone reads out your comment. It's almost like we've done streams before, guys. Yeah.
Code Red is saying, what are our favourite subclass mashups?
Subclass mashups?
Yeah.
Like, what classes would you want to? What do you like mixing together class-wise?
So two of my best boys, I can't really call them, but my best men, from that I play in other campaigns and our NPCs is Prosper and Emlyn.
Yeah.
They are. I have a Rob message.
Oh no! Message.
It's an attachment. That's my nighttime reading. And they are both multi-class rogues. They are rogue masterminds. So they are spy masters. Because I like, as I said earlier, different sort of subclasses of rogue and playing in that space. Emlyn is the sort of within the court, the sort of diplomat spy master. So he is a rogue crossed with a bard. His bard class is the subclasses College of Elocution, which is all about how you can talk your way around stuff. So he's got the mastermind with Elocution, and then Jasper is basically just a flip wizard. So he is Rogue Mastermind crossed with it's a sorcerer subclass that I can't remember off the top of my head. It's the shadow one. It's the shadow one that I can't remember the name of. It's gone. Too late.
It's gone.
My brain.
Luke, did
Yes, boys.
someone tell you that Rob said he'll send you
Yeah.
something? All right,
Rob has sent me things. I'm very excited.
cool. Question, what are your favourite subclass mashups?
That's what we're doing.
Alright, cool.
Mhm.
Get back to your map.
Yeah,
Come
so
on, that boy.
I'm just going to put some mountains on here, you carry on.
Yeah, the Jasper emblem thing. Best boys.
Best boys.
Best
Best boys.
Right, well, since I missed it, what's your favourite subclass?
Okay, I'll go through this again.
I only need the.
I
Blah.
like stuff. I crossed with other stuff. So I have 2 spy masters in various campaigns that I have as player characters and as NPCs in my own homebrew. And one is kind of the spy master for within the court. And so he is a rogue mastermind crossed with a bard college of elocution. To kind of scooch that round. And then the other is Rogue Mastermind crossed with a sorcerer, and it's the shadow one that I can't remember the proper name for. Because my brain is sleepy time.
And it just Shadow Mage.
Possibly, but if you say that, I'll agree with you.
Give it a sec.
I've only multi-classed once.
Yeah, it's the
and
shadow
that
magic,
was,
it's the shadow
last
magic.
campaign. So, yeah, I don't really know much about multi-classing. I'm still new at this.
Paladin
I like-
Sorcerer. Level 6 Paladin. 14 levels of Sorcerer. You put anything in front of me. If I then cast True Strike to give myself advantage on the next attack, hit a crit and smite you, drop my highest level in there, you're dead, bitch. You're fucking dead.
I mean, Connie's got like 5 levels of Paladin, and then she started kind of branching out because then she gets her extra attack at that point. So that's kind of where I've
Oh
gone.
yeah,
to.
you
I've
get 2
gone-
attacks as well, which I'll be smiting you twice. Oh god, well done, Mel. Well done. I forgot about the extra attack. Look at that.
Because I have a Paladin as well.
Mine would probably have to be. I have 2. One of them is Bard Sorcerer, because why the hell not? That's fun as hell. More spells for days. And the other one is my Bonk. My Barbarian Monk.
I love Aster.
1 level of Barbarian and then oodles of levels of Monk. Throw in some PTSD from a shady past. And you have a long boy tiefling Aster with toe beans and tail fluff, and he's just so precious. Everyone loves him. Yes, Aster.
I'm quite a fan of Barbarian Druid Rogues. They're pretty badass.
They are pretty good.
They are good.
They're not very good at finding traps though.
They find them.
Great at finding traps.
They find
Their
them.
face.
Yeah. There is a very good one that a friend of mine put together that I really wanted to see, but we just didn't get to play. Is Swashbuckler Fighter. If yes, Mel.
Don't give me ideas.
If Ari takes this particular build, you are horrifying.
I have
then,
ideas where he
once
wants
you've
to
been
go, but pulling
horrifying-
out there. I mean, I had ideas for Connie, and then it went all
The
the
other
way
way.
off. So
I just don't believe in planning
you know,
anymore.
I can't plan
I'm like,
anymore.
I'm going on the journey that I get put on.
Opinions of
Yeah.
wizards. Before we answer that, it's 11:05. We normally stop. It's a Tuesday. Some people are working tomorrow. So I'm probably going to knock it on the head. We can take up opinions of wizards later. So you three, thank you very much for sitting in on the stream and answering the lovely people. Thank you to chat. You have been absolutely amazing tonight. Thank you for the extra patrons we got. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you, Mel, Luke, and Jade, for answering questions and coming up with your own questions. Thanks for checking out the map. I moved my gaming stream for this.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Thank you very much. So yeah, check us out. You can see the videos. We're a few sessions in already. There's other stuff going on. Check out all the social media stuff you see at the bottom. Hopefully tomorrow you'll get to see me unbox some stuff from Sawdust and Swear Words. And yes, definitely look out for more of our stuff coming. I am now going to throw a raid at Ashana, one of my sponsors. She's currently doing a bit of glass work, so I believe I just have to put /raid and then her thingy.
They've saying it better turn up.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine, Rob. Right. So I'm going to try this. If it works, we do a cracking raid. Say hello. Tell them you're from Heavyweight and give her lots of love. If it don't work, well, at least we've had a laugh. So thank you very much. Use raid Ashana. Hang on. Did it work? I don't even know how that works. Who knows how to raid?
Don't ask Grandpa.
Oh. Go on, nobody go anywhere. Oh, have we done it?
It's saying at the top of mine, raid.
Are we raiding?
Yeah.
Are you
so-
all do host instead?
Oh, there you go.
Finish the
Heavyweight
stream.
is raiding the Shana.
12 raid.
12 raiders.
Have we raided? Did it work?
Finish the stream.
Finish the stream.